Oh hey, didn't see it come in. Welcome to... Oh, that was some good Coke. Oh man, that was a good drink. By the way, I've got the hydrates back, I think. Yeah, so if you want to spam some hydrates in the chat, go for it. I have a full glass this time, ready to go. Welcome to another Project Feline stream. Sorry, I was just running upstairs. Today we're going to be doing more blueprints, more coding, more of that. And I thought I'd just do a bit of streaming as well, because sometimes streaming helps me get that kick in the butt to get some progress. I'm going to set my timer. So who we got here today? I don't know if would you have any of the usuals here? Where's my stream window? There we go. Nice. Oh, we got some hydrates already. Oh, mesh. Goddamn. Sorry, I can't pronounce these names very well. Because they're all these usernames and not real names, and I'm used to saying real names. But Mashu Dude, thanks for joining, first time viewer. Jeffrey's computer can't handle 720p. Oh, that's horrible. Wait, your computer can't handle it, or your internet can't handle it? Oh, your data can't handle it. Well, if you're in Australia, it's much worse. Very worse. So I'm just getting the editor open. Keep waiting for that to load. It's almost finished. I'll show you what's been going on. Also, another thing I'll quickly mention. I've put up another playlist. I can't play it on the stream itself, so to speak. But if you'd like to listen along with me, you can. I'm going to post a link to it in the chat. Just on my hold on, where's my Spotify window? So just on my Spotify here, I've made up a new playlist of jams that I usually listen to, and I thought it might be cool to share them, so that people kind of get a sense for the music that's going, I guess, the stuff that's inspiring the work I'm doing, at least. So I thought that'd be cool to share. So if you want to listen to that, I have it linked in the chat. I'm going to start playing that playlist now. And if you don't want to listen to that, it's fine. I've still got my default copyright-free stream music in the background. So let's open up that character blueprint. I haven't touched this in a few days. I've been kind of busy with other stuff, but I've been doing some work. Oh yeah, I was stuck on this bit. So I was doing some work with Gabby's vault mechanic. I'm just gonna turn my volume down a bit. Oh, who is that? Someone just... Oh, Babitaz, thank you so much for the subscription at tier 1. Appreciate that very much. Hope production has been going well. Yeah, it's been going okay. It's definitely... if only I could summarize it in a nice, succinct way. I can't show everyone everything that's been happening. I'm just going to show you the stuff with the ledge grab for the moment. But it's been going okay. It's definitely in the last month it's been going very good. But I've just been doing this mechanic at the moment with Gabby's vault, and I've changed it on the last stream so that she automatically vaults. So I'm not pressing anything to do that. I'm just pressing forward, running into these obstacles, and she's automatically vaulting over them. It seems to be a bit smoother than I remember it being. I think that's because I've got the camera shake turned off, because there was this weird bug where if you were to do that and the camera shake was on, it would just like glitch out. It's still a bit buggy there. But I was doing something... where was it? I was doing something over here. So I wanted to do a thing where she could ledge grab over this and actually land on the other side without clipping through the ground. Because there's a complicated thing with that I was trying to fix last time. I haven't made any more progress on it yet, so that's what today's going to be about. But you'll notice that here she's like clipping through this piece of geometry and the reason that's happening, I'll go back to it and show you. So she's doing that because if you try and ledge grab, you'll see here, I don't know if you guys caught that just then, but if you ledge grab over an object, she'll land back where she thinks that the ground used to be. So her up and down movement is kind of tied relative to the floor, like this higher bit. So she'll go up and down and land back on the floor, but she thinks that the floor is the same height on the other side, but it really isn't. Usually it is, but in this specific case, I've made it so it's not the same. For these other ones, though, it is, and it works fine. But for this other one, you'll see for a split second, if I try and ledge grab over it, you see that she, like, kind of lands and then falls forward, and that's not what I want happening. I want her to actually land on the ground. And the same is true for this way as well. If I try and ledge grab this way, she thinks that the floor on the other side is also this steep. So she'll try and move herself onto where she thinks the floor is, which actually sometimes ends up working because she'll clip through the ground for a brief frame there, as you saw, but sometimes she gets stuck. So sometimes the capsule will know that it's being put through the floor and try and correct itself, but sometimes it doesn't correct itself, and that's usually if the frame rate dips or something. So if I like cut the frame rate in half, something really low, she'll get stuck in the floor every time, and that's bad. So what I need to do for this bit is I need to tell Gabby that, hey, you're going to land, like, the place you're going to land on, like, she knows where it is relative to her forward direction, but I need to tell her that, hey, Gabby, so that floor ahead of you is actually going to be a bit higher than the floor that you came from, and here's how high it is, so that you know how far down to move when coming off your ledge grab. Because she doesn't know how far down to go at the moment, so she just goes as far down as the previous floor, and that sometimes results in this. So that's basically what's going on at the moment with that specific mechanic. But there's another thing I was working on as well. I added that boost move in, so that if you jump during a ledge grab, she can boost forward, and I thought that was really fun. So that I'm going to try and work on a bit as well, because it's a little... You can kind of just activate the boost whenever, and I don't want that to be the case. I only want you to be able to boost. Because you see, if I do it too early, I just like if I try and boost, the instant I start ledge grabbing, I just like stay stuck. Like if I spam it, I just get stuck on that. So I only want that boost to work if I'm at the apex of the vault. So it's only when I'm at that point in the middle there that it works. So I'll do it slow-mo. So yeah, basically, just at that point there, I want the boost to then go like that. So that's going to be a bit easier to do, hopefully. But I'm currently going to try and focus on getting this bit to work, because I think I almost had it. I was doing some work on this, and then I had to go, but I think I've almost figured it out. So what I'm going to need to do is go to... I've tried to split these up into different comment bubbles, but I haven't put any comments in yet, but I'll do that later. It's not terribly important right now. So I need to find where she... So yeah, there's this bit for the vault. So it moves her to a position. The thing is, it's this vault 2 location. That's where she's going to vault to. That's her end location, that the desired position she needs to be at. But... oh, hold on. Let me try and read this again properly. So she's going to go from where she used to be to this new location times a curve value. So that's why she goes up and over it instead of loping straight through the thing. But there's a Z value that I need to change. And I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do that, but I have an idea. So I think Vault 2 location. Yeah, so that's being set in this area, and the Z is being set to the impact point of this. I should probably actually comment these now, because I honestly can't remember. I can't remember exactly what all of these do, so I might start off today maybe by commenting these. It's been like a few days since I've looked at them, so... So I think this... I don't know if I've got the debug lines on for the entire... Okay, yeah, I do have them on for the entire ledge grab, so I'll have to open up this, turn that off. So now there's no more debug lines and stuff. And then so what I do to figure out what's doing what, I just like turn the debug lines on for specific things. So... just gotta remember what all these do. Okay, so that's doing the check over the ledge to make sure that Gabby doesn't... that there's actually space for Gabby to vault. So I'll name that check if there is space for Gabby, or not Gabby, we should be more abstract than this, character to vault. Okay, so that's what the first one does. What's the second one do? So yeah, the reason why I'm doing all these casts is basically so that she can do this move on anything. So you don't have to make trigger volumes specifically, like trigger ledge grab at certain points in the level, because I think that's just stupid. So I wanted to do it in a way where I could just make the level without having to add trigger volumes and just have Gabby be able to navigate it on her own without any help, so that she's confronted with a situation and she'll know how to navigate it. She'll know what a ledge is, she'll know what a wall is. I don't have to like tag anything, I don't have to use trigger boxes. It all just sort of works. So this next one is the floor. Check for landing. Check for a floor surface on other side of ledge. Okay, so that's what that one does. What's this third one do? So this checks if the landing zone is clear. So I've got one line that gets the floor hit normal, but then this box just checks if it's clear. Because we can get a hit normal for the floor, but if the space is too narrow, we don't want that Gabby to be able to vault into a gap that she can't fit into. So that actually checks, hey, is there like any obstructions? And if there's not any obstructions, then I should be able to land. In fact, I'll create some obstructions now just to make sure that that check does indeed work. I'm most certain it does, but I just want to double check it anyway. So I'll add a few things here. I think I added this, but I forgot to save it. I added this little cool thing where I could make a little thing like this. Oh, wait a sec. Gotta go to my meshing layer. Ah, I didn't, hold on, let me reopen the map. I was doing it on the wrong layer. We do not want to save example map. Alright, let me try that again. Huh, why is it not letting me copy that? Oh, it's still on persistent level. My bad. Just don't save anything at the moment. So yeah, I'll just lock these others so I don't touch them by accident. Because yeah, I've got it all. I've sort of streamed in different parts of the level depending on the needs. So I've got lighting on its own persistent level. I've got the geometry on its own level. So I'm just going to edit the geometry. So yeah, I get something like this. Because then, yeah, check this out. She can vault in that. That's pretty sick. But if I were to make this lower, she wouldn't be able to. She would know that, oh, okay, this is too narrow. Or likewise, if I was to do this, it also wouldn't work. She would know that that's too narrow. So that's what all of those casts do. But if I get it, you know, just the right width, she should be able to, yeah, like that's small enough. She can vault through that. It's very narrow though. Like you have to get it really at the right angle for that. So I'll make it a bit wider. Make it like that wide so that you can pass through it. So yeah, and I was going to test something else. Yeah, I'll do another test where it's like, if there is something on the other side, she'll know not to vault. So if there's an obstruction in the way, she goes, oh, okay, I can't vault there. So that's sort of what all those checks do. So even if I was to make that smaller, like if I tried to make it as small as I could and put it right where she's meant to land, she should know that that's a no vault. Yeah, so you can sort of see that green box. That's the check. That's it going, oh, okay, yep. But you see, I can still make it in some cases. If I get the angle right, I can vault like there, and I won't clip into that object. But if I'm right in front of it, she'll know. She's a smart little cat, so... yeah, so I think that'll work. So I can now comment that as check for obstructions on other side of ledge. And then this last... I don't think it's the last... oh yeah, the second last one. I'm not sure what this does, so let's... see. Oh yeah, so this one checks the actual height of the ledge that you vault over, so it knows like where to move you when going upwards. So check height of vaultable surface. So it actually knows how high to go over. And then there's this last one. I think I've already commented this. So this one gets the floor from the beginning. So this one returns... I'll turn this one on so you guys can see. So this one will actually get the starting floor position, so it'll just cast downwards when you start vaulting, and it'll go, oh, that's where we came from, okay. And that's what I'll need to use for some parts. I think I can't remember exactly what I used that for, but I do remember implementing that. Yeah, so that's how she knows where the floor is when she starts. So what I need to do, because yeah, currently she uses that position for the end vault, so that she knows like, oh, okay. So she gets the Z value of that red hit result, and that's the height she'll know to go back to after the vault. The thing is, we don't want her doing that anymore in that sense. We want her to use that for the start, because what's happening is she's using the floors when she starts like vaulting. She uses the height of the floor for the vault 2 location, and it times it by 1, which will then times it and then get it to this other value of the height of the ledge, and then it times it back to 0 at the end, which is why she moves back down. And the 0 is still going to be that starting position, but we want to change the 0 to be this other one, the floor surface on the other side of the ledge. So at some point in the vault, we need to change we need to get the value of this hit result. So landing floor height. I think, yeah, so I already did the work to set that as a variable. It's just now I need to actually use it. So vault land height. Was that a local variable? I hope it wasn't a local variable. It was a local variable. Okay, I'll have to make quickly a not local variable, like I'll just put something like a thing under it just to test for now. So I'll currently just set. I'm just going to use this temporarily because there might be a reason why I did that as a local variable, but I can't remember. I'm also just going to quickly turn my fallback speakers on because I didn't have those on usually. There we go. Now I can hear myself. All right. So once I've got that variable set, I need to just do that. Then I can go here, get the value, and what we want to do is we want to, sort of dynamically change this vault 2 location to use this as the Z, but only after a certain point. I'll also, hold on, let me just double check. Is my microphone's at a good volume, right? Hopefully it hasn't changed. Yeah, that should be the same. Because it just sounds a bit quiet for me. Anyway, so I think what I'll need to do is, so I'll get a delay. And after half of the vault time, I'll change that value, and hopefully that should work without a hitch, but you never know. So it's using vault 2 location, so we'll set, instead of getting vault 2 location, we'll set it, and we'll split it, and then we'll get it again, vault 2. I'm just gonna move, maybe I'll move my mic a bit closer. I think, because I moved my chair back a bit, and that's why my mic sounds quieter, because I'm further away. So I'll move my mic a little closer. So where is vault 2? Okay, so I'm gonna get the values, and then set Z just to be that new one. And there we go. That might work. It might work. I don't know. Let's see if, okay, so it doesn't, no, that doesn't work at all. If it works in a normal case, then that's fine, but she kind of does this thing where she, what's going on? So she's, oh, that worked then. Okay, why is she, oh, I see. Interesting. Oh no, I don't want to set vault 2 location because I want to set previous character look. That's the one I want to set because vault 2 is going to move me up. So let's maybe try this instead. So I want to set. Oh, my mic arm is a little weak today. Is this gonna stay up? I hope it does. I tightened it like last month. Hopefully it doesn't sag down. Yeah, it's sagging down. God damn. Just gotta tighten that. Okay, it's the tightest I can get it. Maybe I have to... Because the thing about this mic arm is that to actually change its tension, you have to like take the whole thing off, and there's like a screw at the back. I don't want to do that again, so hopefully it'll stay up there. Where's previous character location? There's so many variables here. Oh, there we go. So set. I want to set this value instead. And maybe that'll work. We'll see how that goes. Alright, so far so good. Oh, Actually, no. So far, not so good. I'm now stuck. Oh no. Oh no. So, okay, that was very weird. So it like does a weird loop, but let's see if that does actually work in this new context. Okay, no, it doesn't. No, that doesn't work at all. That's so weird. Why is it repeating? Oh, I think I know why. Okay, I need to make a sequence. Oh no, I have to somehow concurrently run these two delays at the same time. Ah, this will be tricky. Maybe I do a branch and say, hey, if this vault timer is equal to this, do that. And if it's not equal, well, yeah, then keep going. And if it's not equal, just keep going. Maybe that'll work. Something like, I don't know, we'll see. Okay, that actually did work. Sweet. Let's just see if now I can... Oh, okay, no, that's... She's gonna go through the... Oh, yeah, no, she was going through the floor. Let's do that in normal speed. I mean, oh, not quite. She didn't clip... Oh, no, she does clip through it for a brief second. So that's bad. It's just now she's not bugging as much, which is good. Like, she's not getting stuck, but she still is going through the floor. And I don't want that happening. Before I do that, though, I'll save my level. Just unlock all these. I'll rebuild the lighting again. Sorry, I haven't read the chat window in a bit. Oh, thanks Alex Clark for the raid. Appreciate it. Yeah, I know I can use Anim Notify, but I'm going to do something different for the Vault Boost. Mainly because I don't like relying on animation data for my mechanics unless I absolutely need to. And I know that there's another way I can do that. I think the only time I've used Anim Notifiers was for the melee combat, the old melee combat system, and I might come back to that. But I want to see if there's another way I can do it, because that way then the system will work without you needing to have a character, like a character mesh and animation applied to it. Because the thing about Anim Notifiers is they only work if you have a character to animate on the character. But if you wanted to use this character for something else, and let's say you wanted a first-person game and you didn't have a character mesh, then that mechanic wouldn't work because it needs the notify. So I want to see if I can just program it without using notifiers, just for good practice. Okay, there we go. I'm getting stuck on the floor again. So that is still indeed broken. Oh, thanks, The Rave. I'm glad I could satiate your boredom. Welcome, Anthony. That's not 5,000. That's 500,000. That's a big number. It's a lot of Anthonys. Oh, this guy. Oh, nice. You're actually listening to the playlist. Hell yeah. If anyone else wants to listen along to my Spotify playlist, which I can't broadcast on stream because copyright, I'll link that here again. Maybe I should make a card for it. I don't know. So that on my Twitch stream, it's always there. But I'm currently listening to songs from that playlist just through my own headphones. Stuff I like listening to for inspiration. So, okay. I wonder if this check is actually being called. Because it's checking vault duration if this timer is equal to half of the duration. Maybe I'll do a print to make sure that this is actually happening. Because I remember I was doing a branch like this once and it wasn't being called. Yeah, that print string isn't happening. So this isn't being set, so that's why that's not happening. So I can't use a branch for this because I don't know why, they just never seem to work in these scenarios. But so I need to somehow concurrently run 2 delays at once. Not sure how that's done. Maybe I have an idea. I'll do this. That might actually do it, because then I'm just splitting that delay in half and doing stuff at half. Maybe, yeah, okay, so far so good. It's just she should now hit the ground, and she's not hitting the ground. That check she should be going straight to the ground and not falling midway. Yeah, that's not working. Oh, did that work? Let me try it. Let me look at that again. Oh, it's hard to tell. I'll have to turn off like anti-aliasing. It's hard to tell whether she actually made it. I have to see it in very slow motion. Ah, damn it, she didn't make it. Let me try that again. I didn't do the whole vault. Oh wait, that was too quick. I was trying to get the debug camera. So I'll slow motion it, get the debug cam. Okay, I think that did work. I think that actually did. Let me try that one more time. I'm just in wireframe mode because it's easier to see. So slow motion. Let's get that debug camera. Okay, that actually worked. Okay, sweet. She didn't clip through the ground, guys. That's what I call progress. So she actually vaulted over. The problem is, these bits, she doesn't go back down. So I need to do a thing. I need to... Do you use or have Amazon Music? No. I used to, back in last year, I was just using my, like, iTunes, like, not Apple Music, just straight up iTunes, like, old school iTunes. I'd been managing my music, like, the same way since, like, 2010. And I had it all locally stored. But then I switched to Spotify because I wanted to try and find more music and take advantage of their playlist features and stuff. And then I could also share public playlists, and I thought that was cool. So, yes, that's what I started doing. And I've still got, like, I've managed to port my entire collection, mostly, over to Spotify. Like, I've gone and followed and liked all of the albums I used to have. But I've also got, like, a ton of local files that aren't on Spotify that I've tried to store. So, yeah, I've got about 820 files. And I really like for these artists to maybe put the music up on Spotify, but again, that's not up to me, really. But yeah, no, it lets me do other cool stuff too, because Spotify lets me create public playlists, which iTunes doesn't let me do. And I've talked about my playlists before on my devlogs, and they're a very important part of my work, and I thought it'd be cool to share some of them. I've got this really old one. I think this was the first one I shared from episode 2. And this is, of course, not at all anything like the game anymore, but I thought it'd be cool to just keep it up there anyway. This is like an old mood board back in 2018 for the game, and yeah, no, it's so different now. But I might build something else later based on these songs. But yeah, no, it's mostly this playlist and this playlist that I'm listening to mostly. Then I've got a few other miscellaneous ones here and there. But anyway... yeah, that's my jams. If you also just want to see the other stuff, I think my profile link will have some public playlists listed if you just search my name. But you know, it was a cool upgrade from like old iTunes, like storing, because it's so much storage as well. Like it had like 20 gigs of music. So it's like a nice sort of transition from that to Spotify too. Because it's also kind of gives you a bit more of a social experience sometimes, which is cool. Like I've got a few friends I sort of just check on what they're listening to sometimes to find some new stuff, and that's kind of cool. But no, I certainly don't have I think I have quite a very strange taste, I think. I don't listen to that mainstream Harry Styles stuff. Or, I don't know, whatever other popular artist exists. I listen to a lot of soundtracks, mainly. So, okay, I need to find this check. Yeah, so this is the check I need. I need to actually check how far down it's checking, because I don't know. Oh, okay, so it's not checking that far down. I don't think. So I'm looking for that. Yeah, so that line. Oh no, that is colliding. Yeah, that's colliding with something. So if there's a red dot on any line, it means it's returning a hit result. Because I'm a bit worried why it's not picking. It doesn't seem to be picking that one up. So maybe I'll just change her variable slightly to extend that line. Maybe that'll fix this bug. Where's Gabby? There she is. So if I changed this one of these properties, that might work. I think it's vault land detection size. I think it's this. So I'm gonna like double that. Yeah, so that should make that line much much longer. I think that's what it should do. Except it doesn't seem to work anyway. Like watch this. So she's going down, but she doesn't make the whole trip. She just misses the ground. Even though that hit result is returning something. So that's a bit disappointing. She should be going down, and she's only going down slightly. But here, it's fine. She's making it like that on that other trip. Let me, I just want to see that at the lower frame rate. Yeah, so yeah, you can sort of see it, especially at 30 FPS. It feels so stuttery. Like, she vaults, and then it just abruptly stops, and then she launches forward. Because she is meant to launch forward after a vault, just to keep the momentum. But it only feels good if she's on the ground while that happens. Because then it sort of feels like you're continuously going forward. But if she has that boost while she's still in the air, it just feels really disjointed. And whoa, what was that? Hold on. What just happened there? Oh, this is bad. This is very bad. Why did she ledge grab over the top of this? Oh no. That's so weird. Okay, sure, I guess. Why not? Let's leave that in for now. God, well, this is gonna be interesting. There's also that bug where she would boost sideways, which is still there. Not sure how I'm gonna fix that. Yeah, so it's just that pit. It just feels really bad. Gotta fix that. $20 GB, someone exclaimed. Yes. I think it actually might be more now if I look at my music. Let me try and find where I keep them all. Because I still have kept the files, but I've just compressed them. At least for the ones that I don't have on Spotify. But this is my library folder for music, and this is just everything I've ever had. I've culled some of it. Yeah, it's 26 0.3 gigabytes. But granted, that's only the stuff that isn't on Spotify is still there, but everything that is, I've just saved on Spotify, and I've kept the local files as zip archives just in case, because I've paid for a lot of the music and I didn't want to delete it from my drive. So if I were to go to, like, I don't know, like Rob Gasser or something, yeah, I'll still have, like, the songs that aren't on Spotify will just be in the folder, but anything that is, I can just put in a zip archive. So yeah, that way I can kind of get the full kind of experience from the artists I like, because I can have their Spotify music and also their non-Spotify music just all in one place. So that's kind of neat. So yeah, a lot of these ones are on Spotify, so I've just zipped them. But then there's like a bunch of stuff that isn't, like all of this stuff. So yeah, that's how I organize my music. That was like quite a project to do, actually. It took me like a few days to go through and sort it. I like keeping it clean. Anyway, so how, I wonder how I'm gonna fix this. Firstly, I think we can stop using this local variable, because that local variable isn't really helpful. Wait, where is that in use besides here? Where am I using this? Find references. Oh, I'm getting that somewhere. Okay, I should probably replace that then. Okay, now I can delete that variable and I'll get rid of that thing. And then I'll let me add a tooltip so I know what this is for. Move my mic a bit closer as well. Hopefully it stays like that. Tooltip, so used to keep track of the floor at the landing floor zone. That should, I think that should do it. Hold on, so my mic's, I can't hear any sound. Hopefully that's, oh there we go, I can hear myself now. Is that descriptive enough? Hold on, let me try and explain this variable. Used to keep track of the floor. Yeah, no, that's too vague. I need to, okay, I'm gonna try and explain it and see if I can then come up with a cool tooltip. And then I'll answer that Raymond trivia request. So this variable, landing floor height, it is used to store the height of the floor behind the vault bubble surface. I think that's probably the best way I can describe it. So I'm going to make this an advanced display one, because I don't want it showing up in the main list of variables, because I don't need to set this. The user will never need to set this, it just sets itself automatically. So I'm just going to move that up my chain a bit near the vault variables. So there's the start, I should call that start ground floor height, used to keep track of, used to keep track, let me like just copy the tooltip from the other one. Used to store the height of the floor in front instead of behind. In front of the vaultable surface. There we go. So I might rename that as well. So vault start. Oh god damn that. I'm gonna move my mic. It keeps sagging. Didn't used to do that. And then vault land floor height. That, yeah, that's a bit more consistent now. Sweet. I'll just move those into position on the graph. There we go. Now I'll save that. So now for Raymond trivia, I've replaced it because I couldn't come up. I used to have Gabby trivia, but I have run out of facts about Gabby that I can say without spoiling anything. So I've switched it now to Raymond trivia because I'm nowhere near as interesting as Gabby. So for Raymond trivia, for 25,000 crates, I'll tell you a secret about myself. I'm actually allergic to cats in real life. I know I've got this whole game built around feline features and cat powers and that sort of thing, but I actually hate cats in real life. I'm more of a dog person myself. Yeah, no, I don't get on well. Cats don't like me. I don't get on well with them. I sneeze around them. I hate how they shed everywhere because I like being tidy, and I hate having, like, I used to have like a friend of mine who had a cat. Every time I'd be over at their place, I'd come home and I just have cat fur all over my clothes, and I hated it so much. So yeah, I've always been more of a dog person. My family used to own a poodle, and those are the best dogs, objectively, and I'll fight anyone on this. Poodles are objectively the best dogs because they don't shed, and I rest my case. Also, poodles are cool because they have the same haircut as me, and I feel I can blend in better and socialize with them. I blend in. So there we go, there's Raymond trivia. I'm allergic to cats. Also, yeah, cats don't love you the way a dog does. Dogs actually care about you when you come home. Cats, they don't care. They just do their thing. And I think if I was a person, I think I'd be more cat-like than dog-like, because I also do that. But if you're the owner, it feels kind of sad that this person you're caring for and providing food for and vet bills for, like, you get home and they don't even care. But a dog, yeah, they'll always care about you. So that's, yeah. I hope that was interesting. Sphinx cats? I don't know. I haven't been around a Sphinx cat. But even, like, I think just dogs as well. I think I am allergic to most dogs, I think, as well. But poodles in particular I love because they're friendly like most dogs, and they don't shed, and I don't sneeze. And they rock the same haircut as me, so we can all be rocking the same cut, and that's some squad goals for me. I can't rock the curls with a cat, you know. It just doesn't work. I can't be one of the cool kids in that regard, so I feel like I belong with the dogs a bit. Sorry, I've just been, like, playing. That's the thing too, right, is that honestly I'm always constantly questioning this game. I'm always going, is this fun enough? Is this engaging enough? But then I have these moments where I start talking and I just start playing the game. And it's like, oh, maybe this is fun. If even I get distracted and start playing it, I don't know, maybe it's good enough, but still, I don't like thinking that because I always am scared if I'm wrong. But it's pretty fun. It's just not fun when it breaks. It's just I'm very frustrated about it not getting that floor variable. Maybe it's because... Maybe if I just get the impact point instead. That might work. I don't know. So far it seems to be fine. Oh wait, did that work? No, she still falls. Yeah, no, that's still broken. So yeah, you can see that the casting distance is greater, but she's still not making the whole way. That's very frustrating. I wonder if I instead did this. If I just set this without the delay, I wonder what would happen. She would probably clip through the ground. Or not. Actually, huh. Oh wait, what was that? Okay, that's even worse actually. I might need to go back and subtract that value, in fact. Yeah, that feels so bad. Ooh. She doesn't land. So maybe I'm setting the value wrong. That could be what's happening. Because you see here, So what I'm doing now, I'm like skipping this entire delay. It's going straight to the next set of values. So it's immediately setting previous location to the new height using the vault land floor height, which means, well, what does that mean? Oh, wait, maybe I've done this all wrong. Hold on. Maybe I should put that here instead. Oh dear Jesus. Oh no. What's going on there? Okay, well that's not entirely broken. It's only slightly broken. So where am I setting start floor height? Where is that being set? It's gotta be set yeah, it must be here, right? Oh, so that's just straight up the impact point. Okay, I don't need this subtraction value then. I could just do that. Oh, that's better. Okay, I think I've figured out what was going on. Oh, that's much better. Look at that. Oh yeah, she actually landed. Look at that, look at that. Watch this. Oh, look at her land on the ground. Oh, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Let's see if it still works. Oh, it still did it. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. There's just one problem. So, okay, I remember how I coded this now. So what I did was, how to explain? I need a new vector. Because what's going on here is it's getting this timer value, which is just the time dilation. It's then taking that time dilation. Is that important actually? Maybe. Oh, it sort of is, I think. It's taking that time dilation, multiplying it by the maximum duration so that it can have a duration set. And then it's timesing it by this curve. And then it's getting the value of the curve at a certain point and multiplying the vector by that. Now, the thing that's important about this is when and what vector it's multiplying. So at this point, what it's doing is, as the curve gets higher, because the curve has a Z curve that just goes up and down, and then a Y curve that just goes forward continuously. So that's how she moves over it. But what it's what it's doing is, it's with the curves, it's not like a set vector. Like the curve it's multiplying it with, which I will open so you guys can physically see it. Grab, yeah, I think it's this. No, it's not that one. It's this other one. So this is like the Z going up and then down, and then the Y going forward. That's sort of the motion that she goes through. But this is not absolute, like it's just values of ones and zeros, because what that's actually doing is multiplying this vector as the timeline goes by Gabby's position. So it's multiplying it's getting her previous location, comparing it to her new location, and multiplying it by the new curve constantly. That's basically what's happening. But the problem is, it's being multiplied by this new vector, which I'll need to probably turn into a variable. I just can't think of a good name. Maybe just vault's location, because this is like her current vault location, more or less. And essentially, it's getting this new vector that I'm using I'm getting the previous character location and then the start location of when she starts vaulting, which is correct at first, but after the mid vault, that vector needs to change to something else. And that's where I'm having problems, it seems. Because what's happening is, actually, you know what? Actually, maybe, okay. Because what needs to happen is, it needs to use this value, and then halfway through it needs to switch to this value for this calculation, and I've just figured out a way I can do that. So I might actually go back and make them local variables, because I don't think I'm going to need to use them, because what I need is just one variable that will switch between the values of these two things. And that one variable, I think, would be used here, but then where that variable is set, I can, maybe I do actually need to keep those as, yeah, actually, no, I do need to keep those as not local variables. Because what I will do instead, I'll use that delay from before. And I'll say, I'll make a new variable. Oh, wait, yeah. Vault to height. Height character should return to current. Or let me think of a better way to describe what this variable is going to be. Firstly, it's going to be a float. And it's also going to not be editable, so I'll turn that off. But it's going to be basically saying, hey, this is the height to return the character to. But what that's going to mean is going to change. So height to return character to after before and after vaults, because it actually is used like at the start of the vault for a brief second. So I do need it used for its starting height and its ending height. But what I need to do is basically set that variable to basically, after a certain amount of seconds, change it and then do the other stuff. So vault height is going to change to land floor height, but it's also going to be this variable earlier. So I can just set it here. And that actually might work, maybe. So halfway through that vault, her vault height, like her return height that she needs to return back to, will change. But you won't see it happen. Oh wait, that didn't work. Nope. Maybe, okay, maybe that doesn't work after all. So set vault to height to land height. But it starts off as floor height. Oh wait, I didn't plug it in, that's why. So that needs to go here, and then this should work. Let me just move that somewhere else. Move that here. Okay, a little confusing. I could probably maybe try doing this with less variables, but this works for now. It's just a little snappy, I think. Yeah, just for that brief bit. I don't know why it's so snappy there. It's just when she lands, so I don't know. This might be something I can do about that. Oh, wait, she didn't make that one. No, she didn't make it. Ah, this is frustrating. So yeah, it kind of still doesn't work. Nah, that still doesn't work the way I want. Vault. Yeah, I'm setting vault too high. Maybe if I just use this. See what happens. Okay, that's a bit better. Okay, that's working. Mostly. Oh yeah, no, that is working. So now she... Yeah, oh, perfect. Great. I don't know if you guys saw. I know she still clips through the ledge sometimes, but I'm not worried about that. The main thing is, oh, that didn't, I boosted, my bad. Yeah, but when she starts vaulting, she actually goes to the floor on the other side, which is what I wanted. And then here, she'll know not to go through the floor anymore. Yes! There we go. Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, so let's actually see if that also still works when I cut the frame rate down to 30. Because the timer in particular is a bit... Yeah, now it's breaking. Yep. So for some reason, it doesn't work if I have this little bit on the timer. And I have to put that in for this to work sometimes. So that's very annoying. So now if I plug that in, it... Oh. Yeah, that's so weird. Because timers and frame rates are just freaking annoying. I just need to observe what's going on, because it seems to not now work half the time. She shouldn't be ledge grabbing there, she should be vaulting. Yeah, so that's getting a hit result, but she's not making the trip again. So yeah, so I have this thing where I cut the vault duration in half of the delay, but then I add 0.04 seconds to the delta set to the frame time, and then subtract that from the timer, because for some reason I need to put that in for this bit to work. Because if I don't, it infinitely loops Gabby. But if I put that in, it now breaks this thing, because if I were to take this out completely and just use the vault duration without factoring the frame time, she gets stuck in this infinite loop, because for some reason delays, there's a thing happening where it's reaching the end of the delay, but something's not happening to tell the game that it's reached the end of the delay, and now it's looping back to the beginning, because yeah, it's frustrating, because basically I think the reason why this happens is because I'm using this timer, and the timer is basically incrementing upwards based on the time. So this is independent from the frame rate. This will go up. I'm pretty sure, at least. The problem is when it reaches the end of its duration, it will loop this vector curve, because that's just how curves work, is that when it reaches the end, because this will get set back to 0, and then there's a skip in the frame, and it doesn't do this bit. It just keeps looping this, and it goes, oh, we're back at 0. Okay, let's set the curve back to 0 and run through this again until we get to the end. And it never gets to the end because the frame it's happening on gets skipped occasionally, and then you get this happening. And I can only break the loop by jumping. But if I turn the frame rate up, it'll work. It works fine. Actually, never mind. It still doesn't. So I guess yeah. So there's that problem. And the only way I found to fix it was to take off the frame time plus 0.04 seconds from that delay, and that seems to fix it mostly, except not really, because it works for the vault. See, that works now, both at 140 FPS, 300 FPS, sorry, and 30 FPS. It'll also work, except for that one moment just then where it didn't. Okay, maybe I can't use this anymore. Maybe that was working by accident that whole time. If that's the case, that does complicate things. Because, yeah, it's starting... Maybe... I have to check maybe if this is being repeated. It shouldn't be being repeated. Yeah, it's only being called once, except it gets called the second time after the end of the vault. Maybe I'll check if the end of the delay gets called at all. Okay, so that does get called. So this is all happening. It's just keeps getting looped. I'm calling stop vault. So where's stop vault? So when stop vault is called, that could be why. Maybe I'll just skip that altogether. The vault timer, because it's setting it back. Okay, no, that still breaks. But I'm pretty sure this is being called. Yeah, so that hello is being printed, except it's being printed multiple times, like twice. So that's being called twice. I'm not sure why. Because it checks delay after this amount of time. Yeah, so after that amount of time, stop vaulting, detach from the ledge. Maybe it's detach from ledge. Let me check that. Detach from ledge. Okay, that's also... Okay, that makes sense. If I do skip that, I wonder if it still breaks, though. Yeah, it still breaks, so I might as well leave that there, because I think there's a reason I put that twice. Stop doing that. Stop pull up ledge. Stop detach. Stop and enable. I'll call on enable ledge. Maybe I'll turn that off instead. No, that still breaks. But basically, at some point, vault is still being called, and it shouldn't. I don't know if start vault is being called, or just vault normally is being called. So yeah, start vault is being called at the end, which it shouldn't. This is also the same for the ledge grabbing, by the way. This also has the same bug, where if I start... Oh, wait, that worked. That shouldn't work. Maybe it's when the frame rate's higher. Oh. Well, it used to break the pulling as well. Like when you pull up the ledge, she used to go in an infinite loop. But now it's just the vaulting that seems to be broken. Why? Let me check stop the vaulting. Maybe... no, that's still... Yeah, so that's... Yeah, okay. Maybe I'll also call this anyway, just to see what happens. And maybe, just for good measure, I'll also call this, because why not? I don't know, see what happens. Okay, yeah, it still breaks. But yeah, I never liked relying on this anyway, and now I'm probably thinking I shouldn't. So I'm gonna try and think of a solution that doesn't require using a delay and then adding a slight bit on to the frame time and subtracting that from the duration. Like, yeah, it's a silly solution. I shouldn't be using it anyway. No, it's not a physics thing. This is using curves and set location. This isn't using physics. I do understand that physics has its own time step thing, but I'm not using physics for this. Maybe I should try doing that, but at the moment it's just using set location. I'd like to do a cool thing where there's a launch node that works in a curve, but that doesn't seem to exist from what I've seen. Or no, it sort of does. It just doesn't really do what I want it to. But this is just using set location, so this wouldn't have anything to do with the physics stepping. Yeah, I'm using the Unreal... Oh, you're bypassing the movement component. Okay. Well, good luck. I'm gonna stick with the movement component because it does a lot of stuff that I also appreciate. I'll tell you guys a little story. Oh, actually, I might have the build. Actually, I'll tell you about the story of an old game I did way back in 2017. Let me just dig the build up. I want to show you guys this. A little bit of magic. Let me just save everything first. But I'll tell you why I appreciate Unreal so much. This is like, this one story will kind of put it all into perspective. Let me just close the editor. Oh yeah, let me like save the, let me save everything, including the map. Let me just find the old build. Give me a sec. Where's file? Yeah, there we go. I gotta like dig through my archives. Gotta go way back. Give me a sec. I think it's in this folder. I don't know if the build will work, but it's worth a shot. So let me like close this so it doesn't crash. Hopefully it comes up with, there we go. I guess I'll do good. All right. Yeah. So this is an old project I did oh, that bloom is really strong. Holy crap. But this was a really, hopefully that's showing on the screen. If not, let me know. But this is a very old project I did back in 2017. And this was like a 3D platformer. It's got some similar mechanics. Like you can sort of see that it's kind of like a precursor to Project Feline a bit, because it's got like the score collectibles and time limit and stuff. Some of the same mechanics too, like jumping and movement, just basic movement. But this was sort of more kind of like more of a like PS2 era platformer is what I had in mind. And I added this cool like dash ability. That was like the main mechanic. The dash feels very rigid though. Now that I'm going back and playing it, it's like, oh wow, this is really stiff. But basically you could use this dash to traverse, and I just really hope that that's actually showing on stream. There we go. But yeah, it's basically, it's got checkpoints. Oh no, I fell off. This is like a very basic tutorial level, and this is like as far as I got. But you can dash, you can jump. I think you can double jump. Yeah, you can double jump. You can also do that thing where if you tap jump, it goes for a bit. If you hold it, it goes longer. You can dash in the air, which is cool. But the cool bit is, oh sorry, this is the cameras. There's so much goddamn bloom. But the cool thing is you can dash into these red things and it's like Sonic's homing attack. And I tried programming that, and this was all in Unity. So this was like, you didn't get any fancy pre-made movement. You had to do everything myself, and it was so damn hard. So I have this, yeah, this homing attack move. That was like the hardest thing to program. So you can see there's no animations on it, except like just basic idle and running. But if you imagine like a cool flip, that's sort of what I had in mind. But yeah, you can use them for traversal. I'll see if I can do that. There's also like a boost gauge in the bottom corner. So yeah, watch this. I can like traverse, and then I hit the goal, and then I get... It's the same ranking system as Project Feline, actually. I took the code from this and just ported it to Unreal for the calculations, for the ranks, and it's still not perfect, but I want to change it up. But anyway, so the story here is that I stopped working on this project because of the character movement, specifically. Because Unity doesn't really give you anything, or at least it didn't back in 2017. It like gave you basically nothing to work with. So if you wanted to code your character movement, you basically had to do it from scratch. And that's what I tried doing. But I had this problem. I think it works in this build, but the next build after this I tried doing was I tried adding inertia. So the ability to have moving platforms, essentially. Because if I try to put a moving platform in this build, the character, like the platform would just slide out from underneath the character and you'd fall. And I was like, okay, if this is going to be a platforming game, I need to have moving platforms, and I can't have the platforms move from out under you. So I need to program a way for the character to move, to have inertia affect the character. And there were some solutions I saw, like, oh, when you land on a platform, just parent the character to the platform, and I can't even begin to tell you how stupid of an idea that is. So I spent like a solid 3 months coding inertia on the character movement, and it almost worked, except the fact that physics calculations happen on a different substep rate to normal movement. And what ended up happening was the character would move very smoothly with a moving platform, but the camera, because it was updating at a different rate, it would stutter. And it would also do that, like, even if I used fix update or update, it would stutter behind the character on moving platforms. And then an even worse problem happened, where to get the character to move, like actually move on up and down slopes and all that stuff, I have to add a gravity force. I have to code my own gravity. So she's constant. Oh, this isn't a. Is it a he or a she? I can't remember for this character. But this character is being pushed down constantly by its own gravity. So when it goes down a slope, the thing is though about when it's on the ground, it needs to be pushed down even more to actually go down slopes without bouncing off them like in Oblivion. So I have like triple the gravity force on ground movement, but then when she's in the sky, the gravity goes back to normal. But if you are on the floor, it's more intense, so you actually stay on the floor. The problem is that after I coded inertia, I'd have this bug where I kept trying at this corner, because when the character knows when to enforce the different gravity rules when they're in the air, And if I were to run off this ledge, it has to know, okay, you've run off the ledge, change the gravity to normal gravity. But with inertia enabled, it wouldn't work half the time. So what would happen is you'd run off a ledge and you just sink straight to the bottom, like instantly. And sometimes it would work. Sometimes though it would, like sometimes you'd actually fall down at a normal rate and sometimes you'd smack down to the floor. And I, for the life of me, could not figure out how to fix it. And then I stopped. That's when I stopped working on this because it was just such a headache. And then after that, I switched to Unreal, and I never had that problem ever again. So that's why I love Unreal's movement, because it does all of that for you. If I get a moving platform, it mostly will work with with what I've coded for Gabby. I don't think it'll work for the ledge grab and vaulting because of the way I've done that, or for grind rails, because I'm using set location. Inertia will not work with those yet, but for the wall ride and the other core stuff, like wall running and just basic movement, it actually does have inertia just built into it out of the box. And if anyone from Epic Games is watching, thank you so much for sharing this resource with the world. It's honestly amazing, because I really hate mathematics and vector maths and stuff, so it's so much better than having to do all that from scratch, because then you can actually get to prototyping way quicker, because instead of having to program the perfect physics engine, you can just actually start prototyping your game idea, and it's just so much better. But if I get like a physics object, I think I've got a few physics objects in the scene. Let me just get my gameplay level open. I'll just load that in. How do I load it in? There we go. So I've got this other gameplay layer with physics crates. And granted, the physics in mine's still a bit broken because of the frame rate. That's something I think it's an easy fix, apparently. I just haven't gotten into it yet because I haven't really had a need to, because I don't have that many physics objects. But I have these crates that are physics, and I can actually stand on them, and I can stand on top of them, and it won't slide out from under me. I'll actually like move relative to it, except the ledge crate. Yeah, there we go. You can sort of see for a brief second there, I was like standing on the crate and I was moving with it. It's just the vault will completely break these. So yeah, you can sort of see there. Whee! I was sort of on top. Yeah, so if I can vault over these crates, by the way, but if I do that, it sends them flying because of the way I've done it. Or it won't work at all as well sometimes. But yeah, having that done for you is way better than doing it yourself. Just trying to vault over these. Yeah, so it just completely messes with the physics. But at least I have inertia, and I know that if I want to do that, it's possible for the most of the mechanics. I might have to do a bit of work though to get it all working. But I can wall ride on like a moving object, which is cool. Like if I had a moving wall, this would work. And it would not work if I was doing it the way I was doing it in Unity back then. It would not work. Or it would work half the time and not the other half. So I love having just that foundation to work from. Anyway, that's my little story about physics and movement systems and stuff. Let me load my other level back. Oh wait, that's not what I wanted to do. Always loaded, yep. Because I have this other gameplay level that's just for testing the ledge. Yeah, so now I'm stuck with problems like this. The character's gravity now works fine, it's just now I get these problems, so I guess there's always a trade-off. But anyway, oh, sorry, I had my chat window minimized. But yeah, I think I have a very old video about that game from around the time I was finishing it. Would you remake this demo one day? I don't know. I think I kind of have remade it with Feline, just better. Like it was trying to be the same game, I think. I think back then, oh, hold on a sec. Give me a second. I've just noticed that my camera is way more zoomed in than normal, and now it's really irritating me. So let me change that. One sec. Oh, come on. Give me a second. Alright, that's better. Yeah, my camera's been a bit buggy lately. It keeps zooming in too close. Now it's much better now. Anyway, yeah, so that game, I had the same... that's when I kind of... That's the point in my life where I realized that I could make games that I liked. Because, it sounds so weird, but I feel like going through the student experience, I felt like very limited. Because it's like, oh, yeah, you have this game idea? Yeah, okay, cool. Don't do it because it's stupid. Do something easy like this. And I went through that. I did like mobile games. I did like Infinite Runners. I did my own Flappy Birds ripoff when I was like 14. I did it all. And it was like, okay, cool. I know how to program games, but this isn't what I want to make because this is boring. Like, I don't want to make some crappy mobile game. I want to do something more. Like, that's what the vision was always. So I felt very upset at the time. This is like 2017, because I was like basically trying to make a pragmatic game. Like making a game not because I want to make it, but because this would be realistic to make and I could finish. But that ultimately didn't really help because I didn't finish a lot of those older ones because I lost passion. So it actually could have been completed, like mechanically speaking. But I just didn't have it in me to do it because it's not the vision. But that prototype I just showed you, that's when I first went like, oh, what if I just made a game that I actually would like? Like, what if I made a game that was kind of like Sonic or like Ratchet and Clank or a mix between the two? Because those are what I grew up with. So I was like, oh, why don't I just try doing that? And I think that game, that was I think about 3 or 4 months. I think I was working on that, roughly. I think it was like I started like in February and then finished it. It felt like I finished it around April or May, and that's when I stopped because of the programming just got so annoying. But yeah, then I felt a bit depressed after that because it felt like I couldn't make anything because it was just the kind of games I wanted were too ambitious, and I fell into a bit of a burnout phase because it was just like, I can't even program physics. How am I going to make my dream game now? And it was very sad. But then, you know, I had this friend, Matthew Palahay, who maybe some of you have heard of. You know, we were like working at the same place at the time, and he's like, oh yeah, I've been doing Unreal Engine and making videos about it. You should totally use it. And it was like this joke between us because I was really set on Unity because I had used it for so many years. And he's like, no, Ray, you gotta use Unreal, man. Like, it's the future. I'm not kidding. Like, you gotta use Unreal. And it was like this meme where, because everyone else around us kept using Unity as well. So it was sort of like this cult of like trying to convert everyone. But then I actually did try it. And it was actually the best decision I ever made. Because it's like, oh, wow, this is actually way more suited to me. And I can actually... This plays to my strengths way better than Unity did. And then I started doing a few prototypes in Unreal. I did a grapple hook prototype back in 2018, and then I did like a Crysis-esque prototype where I made this like, you know, like the Predator bow from Crysis 3. I kind of wanted to make a game with that sort of mechanic, except the arrows would be like teleport beacons. And I gave that a try, and that was okay. And then I started this wall running project, and then that was the one I kept doing, and this is the one you're seeing right now. That was the most fun. So this is like kind of my, I don't know if this would count as my third project in Unreal because I didn't really finish the other two, but this is like going to be my first finished one, hopefully. Do I play games in my spare time? Yeah, from time to time. Mostly at the moment I'm playing a lot of Halo. I'm playing it on the original Xbox 360 because they're going to shut the servers down next year. So I'm kind of tragically trying to hunt the achievements, but I'm not good at getting achievements. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, I don't know how I'm going to solve this problem because I need to... Okay, I think this like whole idea, maybe if I, let me think. Hold on, wait, no, hold on, wait. Maybe if I do this. Okay, that works. Except not really. So what I need to do here is basically, because I think what's going on is that this is being looped. This whole shebang, of the vaulting, and when it reaches the end of the loop, something's happening where it's not triggering the end event as it should be. So I need to figure out. Maybe it's got something to do with the character blueprint. I'm not sure. Nine Cap, yeah, he knows what's good. I'll make a mobile game and I'll make money, and it's like, no, you won't. But also that was the thing too, is that that's what I was kind of being told to do at the time. But it's, no, I don't want to do it that way. Like, I don't want to just make passive income from, you know, Candy Crush 7 or something like that, or Clash of Clans, but my version of it. That's not what I want. It's just, I don't know. Even just like not just from a business, but even just, I don't play mobile games anyway. I don't really get the appeal with mobile games, so I don't enjoy playing them, and I don't enjoy developing them, because that's just not why I play games. I don't play games for a distraction, at least not in that sense. I don't play them to pass the time on the train. That's what I imagine is the advantage with mobile games, because from what I've heard about what people say, they say, oh yeah, it just gives me something to do on the train. I don't like playing games on the train. I like listening to music on the train and looking out the window and just thinking. That's what I like doing. When I'm at home and when I'm, you know, there's a nice comfy couch, there's a big TV, or I'm at my desk, that's when I like playing games, because I want to be focused on the game. I want to be immersed in the game, not necessarily to distract, but more to just get to escape, I guess. And that's, to me, those aren't the same. To me, being distracted and escaping to somewhere are like two different things for me. Because for me, being distracted is you wanting to leave the present. But for me, escaping is not necessarily you wanting to leave the present, but for you to want to be somewhere else. Like, you want to go to Tamriel or Azeroth or something. Whereas in a mobile game, I feel like it's not that I want to go to this escapist world of the mobile game. It's more like I just don't want to be in the wherever I am right now. And it's more of a running away from than running to sort of thing. But that's what I love about most of the games I play, is like I can escape into a world, and I'm not going there to escape my world. It's because I want to go to that world and spend time there, sort of thing. And I think that was one of the fundamental things as to why I could never complete a lot of those older projects, just because it wasn't giving me that sense of escape that I really was looking for. And if I'm not going to enjoy it, then I can't expect anyone else to. So yeah, that's when I had a bit of a perspective change. And that old prototype, I think that was a good place to start from. It definitely, I learned more about what I liked, and then I started really thinking about, okay, what do I actually like and why do I like that stuff? And I've just kind of told you why just now, but for me to figure that out took years to actually think, why the hell do I spend an hour playing the Halo campaign, or why do I play Sonic? Like, why do I actually spend time doing that? And to really think about what kind of value it is for me. And now I think I know it better than ever. But to get to that point, I had to go through those older prototypes and figure that out. But I'm just trying to think, yeah, so this bit of the character blueprint, like vaulting, because I don't know if this is causing some problems. It shouldn't be, because what should be happening is what should be happening? Well, I mean, this should just keep calling on vault. Oh, wait a second. Yeah, no, okay, so when stop vault is called, it stops this loop. So maybe I'll do a test, see if this is still being called when it shouldn't be. So I'm gonna do a hello print. Oh, wait, hold on. I didn't turn the thing back on. Yeah, so what am I doing? Oh yeah, so I divided it by 4, which is gonna break it because it doesn't actually take me through the whole loop. So I need to divide it by 2. Okay, so hello keeps getting printed, which is bad. Which means this loop is still going on, and it shouldn't. Let me actually reduce the time of the duration, just to make sure it actually is. Yeah, that's constantly being called, which is bad, because this should stop that, and this will not happen anymore. So maybe let's try this. See if stop is being called. Okay, stop is being called, but it's not stopping. So let me do 2 print strings. So I'll do one called stop, and then the other one called, I'm gonna call this go Power Rangers. Let's see what happens. So it's both are being called concurrently, it looks like. So maybe let me reduce that interval time. So when stop's called, and then go is called again. Except for that one moment just then. Oh, wait a second. Why are the casts being done? Oh wait, let me, I might have a very rough idea why it's taking me back. Because I think what's going on is the reason why you ledge grab again and loop it, I think what's going on is when it reaches the end of the curve, it's setting the vectors back to the start point, which shouldn't happen. But if it is happening, and then if it's calling the ledge grab check again, it's then grabbing the ledge and vaulting. So that could be what's going on. But I need to do, what did I need to do? There was something here that was, I needed to change. Yeah, so I need to plug that back in, and then I need to turn back the debug draw lines. I gotta turn those back on. Do you still teach game design? No, I do not. And for a good reason. But I mean, actually, that's not quite true. I suppose if my videos count, then yes, I suppose I am still teaching it. Like, I'm just not getting paid. I'm still teaching it to the public in that sense. Because I did that video the other day talking about not doing the devlogs as often. And it might seem weird that I'm still streaming, but I think with that, I feel a bit more comfy with streaming to a smaller group of people. I think that's better for me because, you know, it's kind of nicer to just have a bit of company sometimes when you're working. And it gives me a bit of a kick in the butt sometimes, because if I'm streaming, I can't have YouTube open on my other screen. So, because I often procrastinate sometimes. I'll like have some very interesting documentary on, and I'll kind of get distracted. So that's one of the things that streaming helps me with. The videos don't help me with that at all though, because I have to like edit and record, and it's just, yeah, it's just more work to do. But for streaming, it's not any extra work. It's just meaning I have to stay on task, and that's kind of actually helpful. And the good thing too is that the group of people is so much smaller, and it's actually, for me, it's more manageable. Because I was talking on my video the other day about just having the huge crowd of like 70,000 plus. That's a bit overwhelming. But if it's like, how many people are here at the moment? If it's like, you know, 30 people, I can handle that a bit better. It's less overwhelming because it's just like a small room. Like my classes used to be like 30 people. I'm used to that, but I'm not used to like a stadium's worth. That's a bit too scary. So I'm fine with like showing it to a small group. And also with streaming, it's like I'm not showing it off. It's more like I'm just doing stuff and you're seeing it. Because I think with the videos, people are kind of expecting, oh, if I show something, it's like, oh, that's the final. And it's usually not, but everyone treats it like it is, and that was getting a bit frustrating. Because, you know, there's only so many times you can like do something. There's only so many times you can iterate, and for, you know, because everyone keeps trying to get their own feedback in too, which is helpful sometimes, but oftentimes it's like usually about stuff that I'm not asking for, and it just gets overwhelming to handle it all. Because if you don't listen to it, then you might miss something, but if you try and take it all in, it's just too much. But with streaming, it's different because I don't think anyone's expecting, no one's treating this like a game trailer because you're seeing me in the editor, and I think it's easier that way. Because if I show you something broken, you're not expecting it to be fixed immediately, or you're not expecting that this is what it will look like in a year, because you're actually seeing it happen. Whereas with the videos, if I like animate something, or if I like put a mechanic in, everyone thinks, oh, well, this doesn't look finished. I'm gonna tell him why this looks bad. And I already know why it looks bad, because I know it's not finished. It's just I'm showing progress. But no one ever treats it like that. They treat it as like, oh, this is an announced feature or something, or this is the final animation for this. And it's like, well, no, it's not. It's just me showing progress. But I think streams, it's easier in that regard, because you're actually here with me. Whereas in the videos, there's a bit more distance. But anyway. But I guess in that sense, I suppose that you could, if this counts as teaching game dev, I suppose, yeah, you could say I do in a sense. Oh, hey, legendary animator. Good to see you. Okay, yeah. So, for those who are joining the stream, who are back from a break, basically, there's a problem right here where this loop happens and this allows Gabby to vault and it continuously updates her position. But what's supposed to happen is that this is meant to get called at the end, and it is called at the end. And when that is called at the end, it stops this loop. The problem is the loop still keeps going, and that's a problem. So something here is still being called. So maybe I'll put in another thing, because I don't know if maybe it's not this bit that's the problem. Maybe it's before. Maybe it's this whole area that's actually being the problem. So we'll try that. So I want to see if start gets called. So you see vault is called, and then stop, and then start is called again. Okay, so why is it starting again? So this is the problem then. It's not this at all. This is all fine. It's just start is being called again for no reason. And that's bad. So actually, I'm curious what would happen if I did this. This is just random shot in the dark. I don't know what'll happen. Okay, that's not it acting at all like I want it to. Okay, so if I do the way I just did then, what is meant to happen is Gabby is meant to teleport to the end vault position, but that's not happening. She's teleporting into the floor instead, and that's very bad. So, maybe I just times it by 1. Okay. That is sort of good. Almost. I think I just need to times, yeah. Or not. Maybe it's this value. Yeah, so that's... So she should just teleport to where she's meant to go. Yeah. I just want to make sure that that's actually happening. Oh, I'm stuck in the crouch state. So, without the curve and the fancy lerping, I just want to see if she actually does move to the right. Oh, she actually doesn't move to the right spot. Oh, no, never mind. I know why. Let's just try this. Let's double check it. Yeah, okay, so she goes to the floor. Yeah, okay, that's fine. It's just, It's something to do with the way I'm using curves. I think that could be what's causing this problem. Because, yeah, because essentially when it reaches the end, something is happening where it's putting her back at the beginning of the loop and also starting it again. So it's something to do with like this whole event being called right here. That's being called and it shouldn't be called. And I don't know why it is being called. Let me do a search. So yeah, it's not being triggered. Yeah, so call on start vault isn't happening anywhere from the looks of it. Maybe it should be, I don't know. At least not on this graph. I don't know if it should be on this graph. I know that this is being called, which is fine. Pull to ledge, yep, on vault, yeah, that's all fine. It's just on start vault. So I think that what's going on, because that happens as part of one of these. When you start ledge grabbing. Grab ledge. Oh. Oh. Oh, okay, hold on. I just realized something. Let me just like move. I might copy paste it actually. I'll move it all here. Because I have this. I forgot about this. Maybe this will do something. I don't know. We'll try. And then basically this is never called. But this is, which is happening on the graph somewhere. Okay, that still breaks. So vault, and then I don't know if you guys saw that, but it's like vault. Let me like I'll turn the frame rate down so I can actually read the print log. So it's like vault, and then stop, stop, start, start, stop, start, stop, vault. Yeah, okay, that's complicated. But this seems to not do anything, which is fine. It's just grab ledge. Okay, let me look at that function. On grab ledge. So when grab ledge, when vault is true, start. Okay, so that's when that's called. So that does get called on the player's graph, which is fine. It's just on start vault is only ever called here in the entire thing, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so that is never called anywhere else in the entire game. So in the entire game, on start vault is only ever called here, which is only ever called there when this is. So it's just a matter of this function then. Could be something to do with this. Could be when this is called that's causing that problem. Breakpoint through. I'm not sure. You have to describe that to me. How much money goes to you when buying merch? Like a shirt? Oh yeah, well that will depend of course on the item, but for shirts, I'll look that up. I don't get all of it, because I have to spend some of that on manufacturing and shipping. But that's a good question. Let me get I'll get my dashboard open and tell you. I don't know if it'll be in Australian or US, so bear that in mind, because it doesn't tell me. It doesn't tell me what currency it is until like a different point later, so give me a sec. Oh, it's like one of those things. I think I've used them a few times, but I don't have as much experience with breakpoints. Like, I used to use them in Unity a few times, but they would sometimes work and sometimes not, so I just use prints instead. but maybe I'll look up a tutorial on that later. But to answer that other question, so I'll just bring up one of my shirts on my other screen here. So if you were to buy, oh, excuse me, I think this is in US prices. So if you were to buy like this shirt, for example, which I do have available, I've relaunched my classic designs again, because after my Patreon closing, I actually got some backlash, surprisingly. I didn't think people would be upset. I thought they'd be happy, because I closed my Patreon because I wasn't going to be doing videos every month, and I thought charging every month would be inappropriate, because if I'm charging every month and not giving back anything, then what's the point? So I closed it, but everyone actually got upset because they wanted to support me still. So I've relaunched my merch designs again. This is my personal favorite, that's why I keep wearing it. But there's another design, there's like the nice colorful design that I think everyone else seems to like. I'll show you guys a picture of that one if you want. So yeah, so like that design you can get. So that's all back on the store now in lieu of my Patreon. But if you buy one, about $14 of it US will go to me. The other $10 is towards like the logistics. So I think I've got this design and the others on t-shirts for like 25 US. So yeah, about 15 of that. It's like $14.42, but you round it up to 15. That'll go to me directly, which is like not mandatory at all. I just thought I'd mention it because I was getting a lot of comments of like, oh, we want to support you still, and I really don't think I deserve it, but if you want to, you can, and I do appreciate it. Also, you can subscribe to my Twitch. That's also something you can do. Or you can, there's a lot of things you can do. You can also leave a one-off donation on the game's itch page. Like if you just want to leave like 50 cents or something. I should really get some kind of tip jar for like the stream. I think there's an option. There's like a thing I can do for that, but I haven't set it up. Because I don't want to do a donation goal. Because the only thing I would be working, like, the only goal I would have would just be me affording more Migrang noodles, which isn't an exciting donation goal by any means. So I was thinking maybe doing something just like a little jar with no specific goal. It's just if you want to send any support. But I'll have to look that up later. Oh yeah, I've got Aquatic Base on that playlist. I'm glad someone else appreciates the classics. What's the final moveset in the game you're trying to achieve? I can't really answer that question. I'll have to just show you, but that'll take time. You'll see it at some point in the future. I can't really describe it to you. Yeah, I can't really put it into words, but you'll see it. Anyway, so okay, hold on, let me search this event. So on grab ledge is not called in that blueprint, but it is called here, at that point, and only. So that's also only ever called once in the entire game, and that's when a ledge is being detected is true, or vaulting is true, I think. Oh, wait a second. Oh yeah, no, that's correct. That should be doing it like that. So it's just detect ledge then is the problem, or it's this thing. It's this branch. It would have to be. I can't think of anything else because this is only ever getting called when this happens, which means let's do another print. I'll get rid of my other prints just to clean this up. I can probably get rid of this. When is that? Do I ever use that variable actually for vaulting on grab ledge? Oh, I do use that. Okay. Cool. I don't know why it's on here though. Oh, I'll just leave it for now. I'll just keep using this. So if I take off those others. So I'm looking for the words being called. So okay, that's weird. Oh, why is that returning true? Hold on, wait. That shouldn't be returning true at all. Oh no, that's fine actually. It's just this. I put it in at the wrong point. So that's always being called. So I don't want that happening. So we'll just do that. So every time it detects a ledge, it should go in the print string. It's just, why is it going back there? That's not correct. So no, maybe this isn't it at all. I don't think it's this. It's the fact that she's going back to the beginning in the first place, which should not be happening. And because she gets teleported back, she detaches from the ledge, and then she instantly detects another one because she's back at the point she was previously where there is a ledge. And that's why she's then grabbing it again. So I need to figure out what's actually moving her back to the beginning. And that's going to be tricky. Maybe I do this. Just an idea. Maybe I add this here instead. Just a thought. No idea if it'll work. Oh, sort of. Sort of. Actually, no, not really. No, that didn't. Oh, maybe if I do it the other way around. Maybe if I do it like this. I don't know, could work. No, that's even worse. Maybe if I do 0.1. Okay, no, no. Maybe if I add instead. Thanks for the hydrate. Yeah, Aquatic Bass is a great track. There's actually something, I don't know if I should geek out about this or not, because I don't know if anyone actually cares, but with Aquatic Bass, that track, I've noticed through the Sonic 06 soundtrack that they actually they're using a sample library for a lot of their percussion, which might sound obvious, but I was always very curious how they get like that very complex percussion, because there's no way they're doing that by hand, and they're not. I actually did find hints that they're using some sample pack that is indeed available to the public. I can't really show you because it's copyrighted music. I can't broadcast it, but there's a specific percussion break that is played occasionally in both Aquatic Bass Phase 1 and Phase 2. It's also played in the shadow cutscene, the opening shadow cutscene from the very start of the game. That percussion break is also there. And it's also, I've heard it as well. The reason why I know that it's a loop is because I've heard it in other songs as well. I heard it in... what's her name? The artist. Some other Japanese artist. It might be in my other playlist. It was in, oh, god damn, I can't find it. It started with an S. Yeah, this artist, yeah. From this album. In a few of these songs, I hear the same percussion break as in the Sonic soundtrack. So it's like, okay, this sample library exists. I don't know what it is, I don't know what it's called, I don't know where to find it, but I know that it exists, evident from the fact that other songs use it, or other artists use it. So it must be some, I don't know what it is, but the fact that it exists really bothers me, because I want to use it. But I don't know what it's called, or where to even start looking for it, because all I have to go on is one small percussion break that you hear in the background, and I can't just isolate it and say, yeah, this exact sample, because it's in the background of everything else. But I listen for it and I hear it, and it's like, yeah, that's it. But I don't know I don't know like what the file name is or what pack it's from. Like, yeah, I don't have enough information. But I don't know. Maybe someone knows. It has to be some generic pack that Japan uses, because every artist I've heard that uses it is based in Japan somewhere. So it's probably could be like some Pro Tools default pack or something. I feel like it's something really simple that everyone uses that I don't have. So anyway, it's not the Amen break. No, I used that one already. It's a different break. It's not. No, it's not the Amen break. That's a different one. They actually don't use the Amen break in Sonic 06, but one of the artists, Tomoya Otani, I think if I'm pronouncing his name right, he does his own samples that sound similar to the Amen break, but they're not the actual recording of the Amen break. But a lot of the songs he does, you know that it's emulating that break. Like the Reach for the Stars intro from Sonic Colors has the sort of that same kind of loop to them, or the Tropical Resort music, or the other stuff he's done. He's done some work on 06 as well, and all of them they have the same drums that follow the rhythm of the Amen break, but it's not the exact one, because he goes and puts the work in to make his own ones from what it sounds like. No, but that break I already know about and I use, but there's a different one that I have heard hints of, but I can't identify it. And it's going to frustrate me till the end of time. But anyway, that's a complete tangent. I wish I could play it, but I don't want to get claimed. But yeah. If you listen for it, though, you'll probably find it yourself. If you listen to those songs. Like, in Aquatic Bass, it's near kind of like I don't know whether to call it a verse because there's no vocals, but in one of like the main bits of the song, it comes in like every 4 bars, like in the background. Like it'll have the piano and stuff going, it'll have the sine wave synths and stuff, and then like every 4 bars you'll hear this little not high pitched, it's in like the high register, it's in like the high frequencies, but it's sort of just in the background every 4 bars. It's so specific. I really want to find, because I feel like if I find that, I'll find more samples that Sonic Team use, and I'll be able to I'll make something really cool that sounds more professional than just using the default GarageBand pack. So that's from you hear it in Aquatic Bass, Act 1, Act 2. You hear it in Shadows. I don't know what the exact song is for Shadow's story. Let me find Sonic 06. Sonic the Hedgehog. So in Shadow's Infiltration, you hear it. I'll just play it. I don't want to break my playlist order, but I'll do it. I'm not going to play it through my stream because I don't want to get claimed, but I have to listen closely for it. It's like, 11 seconds, you can hear it in the background. And if you listen for it and you recognize it, you'll start hearing it everywhere. And yeah, it's a cool little sample. I like it doesn't sound like much on its own, I don't think, but it adds to the overall song. And I like it. I just don't know what it's called or where to find it. And anyway, that's just my little pet peeves with music. Might do another music stream in the future when I start doing more music work, but that's not what we're here for today. Hold on a sec, let me get my chat window back. There we go. It's chopped up from one loop. Okay, I think RZ Games hopefully you know which one. It's like this, it's like hi-hat percussions, sort of a hi-hat percussion sound. They've put it up in the higher registers, and I noticed that they tend to spread it out on the stereo mix of it, because it's just a little bit of flavor that comes in every 4 bars in the background. But anyway, sorry, I was going to test this thing. Did I actually test it? Did that work? Oh, it sort of did. I think it worked. I hope it did. See what happens if I don't put that in. Okay, that might fix the loop if I just do that. If I add the 0.4 seconds here instead, maybe. I still don't like that solution, but it seems to be the only one that actually works. Oh no, it didn't work just then. Why not? That one time just then it didn't. Oh, oops, hold on. Let me try that again. I don't know if you guys saw. Okay, that is another bug that I'm not worried about. Yeah, it's doing it again still. Ugh, why? Why is it breaking? Why can't this just work? Why can't... I mean, look, that's the thing with programming, right? Is that it actually is doing exactly what you tell it to. It's just you're really bad at communicating with it. And that's the thing I always hate about programming, is that it's actually not the computer's fault, it's actually my fault. And I hate that. It's just a slap in the face, kind of. It's basically the computer saying, look, man, I'm doing exactly what you're telling me. It's just you're not telling me the right thing. And it's like, well, what is the right thing? And the computer's like, I don't know. You figure it out. And that's programming. So it seems to be working more consistently, though, which is good. Except that animation bug that happens from time to time. But she seems to be navigating it pretty well. Did I actually do the thing? Okay, yeah, so I can get rid of this now. Oh, no, I don't want to copy that. Yeah, I don't know, maybe someday I do like a music stream where I just listen to Sonic music and I just break down everything that I hear and then just be fine with being claimed. Maybe I'll do something like that. Maybe, I don't know, maybe that could be a donation goal or something. Because I won't make any revenue at all from a stream if I'm doing... Well, that's the thing. I don't know actually how severe the consequences are for that. Because I know that some people will like claim the revenue from the stream, or they'll mute the stream, or they'll like strike you. So I'm not actually... I should probably think that through first before promising it. So yeah, I'm not sure how that works. But that would be cool though if I could do that. Unless maybe I write to Sega and say, hey, could I formally request permission to use your music in this thing, in this live stream for one time. I doubt they get back to me, but maybe it's worth a shot. I just want to drag these nodes out so I actually know what's going on here. Because if you have all the nodes bunched together, it can look messy. Okay, let's group that back. Boom. Oh, oops. I caught a bit I wasn't meant to there. There we go. Alright, now it's just... Now it, like, kind of still does work, mostly. It's just now failing still, but less of the time. Which... If it's failing only when I'm entering slow motion, which is a debug function, then... I think I can move past it. So I'm going to do slow motion and see if it's still... Okay, well it didn't break that. Maybe let's chop the frame rate down again. Because it might be a frame rate thing. Well, normally at 140 FPS it's fine. At slow motion 140 FPS, it's also fine. But if we do slow motion 30 FPS, what will happen? Okay, that worked, surprisingly. It's just, I know she clips through the thing still, don't worry. I know why. Actually, yeah, I know why that's happening. She's uncrouching mid-thing, which is bad. I need to fix that. She shouldn't be uncrouching. So let's try that normal speed at 30 FPS. Okay, that's... Wow. Is that actually working? Why was it not working a second ago? I literally didn't change anything. I didn't change anything. I just reordered the nodes slightly, and now it's actually working more consistently for whatever reason. Even at the halved frame rate. I feel very suspicious, because I feel like the minute I turn the stream off, it's going to break. But I mean, hey, that's good enough. Like, we've done it like 10 times, and it's worked, so... For now, yeah, sure, I guess that's okay. I'll just, insert these nodes into the comment and just spread these out a bit so it's neat. Okay, well that's not the solution I was hoping for, but hell, I'll take it. I'll take it for now. It's just how to break this up. Gonna make some room for these. Oop, not like that. see most people using Sonic music without being claimed. I mean, I suppose. The thing is, though, is that it's still technically, legally, a copyright violation. Even if they don't catch it, I'd still rather not put myself in that position. Like, just because they don't see it happen still doesn't mean it's okay, because it isn't my music, so it seems only fair. That's another thing too, that I like knowing what I know about like copyright law, and I don't know, like I'm not a lawyer, but from what I do know about it, it always makes me super anxious whenever I'm at the barber or at Woolworths or something, because it's like they'll always have like their phone plugged into the speakers using Spotify, and I'm like, hold on, do they have a broadcast license for that? Sometimes I'm tempted to ask them, because I know that they probably don't. But now that I know that that law exists, it makes me more anxious, because now I like go and notice it everywhere. Like I'll be at some old vintage game shop and they'll have like, some person will just have their phone in the Bluetooth speaker playing Spotify free, even with the ads on it. And it's like, hold on though, like to play that in a shop, in a business, you actually need a broadcast license. So it always like, I always like catch that now every time I'm out, and it annoys me a bit, but I don't care enough to say anything. It's not my shop, and I'm not the authorities, so. If I was to run a business though, I would probably want to be more careful, just because like I'm a bit OCD like that. And now, just by rearranging the nodes, it's now not working anymore. Oh, why? Why does this now not work? I don't get it. What have I done? Oh, okay, this is honestly like, what the hell? Why is this now not working anymore? She's like just hitting straight into the ledge. Yep. I must have rearranged something by accident. I don't know. Let's try that. Okay, no, that didn't fix it. I have to go and undo this now. God damn it. I didn't change anything. This is all the same. It's just I've rearranged it slightly. And now it's like, oh, yeah, that mechanic? Yeah, it's not working now. Have fun. So let me Control Z the hell out of here. Have I gone back far enough? No, I need to go back further. Oh yeah, sometimes this doesn't, like, my Control Z is actually broken, because sometimes it actually doesn't work, and I don't know why. Sometimes it'll only undo bits of the graph and not the other bits, and it's only when I move stuff. It's really frustrating. So, I don't know if anyone else has that. Yeah, see now, oh, now it's broken again. What? Come on, oh, come on. This is not fair. Now it's like broken again. I literally had it working just then, and I didn't change any, you guys saw me, I didn't change the logic. I just moved the nodes to slightly different points on the graph. I had them plugged into the same areas, doing the same goddamn thing, and then Unreal's just like, not this time. Look, I'm all for having fun fixing, but yeah, see, I Control Z'd it and it put the comment bubble back, but it didn't move these things back. So like Control Z seems to be conditional now. It only works when it wants to. And that only started happening to me like in the last week, so I don't know what I did. I haven't updated the engine or anything. So I don't know what's going on. It's just pure chaos. So yeah, watch this. I'm just adding a few reroute nodes. That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm doing. Just a few reroutes. A few harmless reroute nodes. Should be nothing to worry about, right? Wrong. That's everything to worry. That's gonna fundamentally change the code, apparently. Just a few reroutes. Just, you know, harmless. Just making the code look neat. No. Punish. Seems to be what's going on. Maybe this is Unreal's way of telling me to stop trying to clean my blueprints. Although, I mean, I don't know if I can give that up, because look how goddamn neat that was compared to earlier. it's not a sacrifice I'm willing to make. I don't want to give up my clean blueprints just so that it works. Even though I want it to work. But I'd like to have it work and be neat and readable, because that is honestly cool. So let's see now. Okay, now it's just got the same problem as before for some reason. Oh, why did this change back to a goddamn... No, okay, I know why that broke. It's because I Control-Z'd back too far. It's this thing I want. Now that should work. Hey, there we go. Now, let's just like pray that this still works. If I just move these over here, that's all I'm doing now. I'm just move those over. That's it. Harmless little change. Doesn't fundamentally change the code at all. It's just making it clean. That's all I'm doing. Now I guarantee you, I'm just gonna put a comment bubble around this again, not changing anything. But the minute I do this, it's gonna break. Just you watch. I'm gonna pile save it and watch this stuff. Oh, all right. Well, now it actually does work. Sweet. Let's then clean up this next bit, because I hate these bits sticking out. So I'm going to get rid of that and that and that. Wait, no. I want to keep one of those. I want to keep this. Yeah. So now I'm gonna move all of this way over here. If anyone's still watching, I'll link it again if anyone wants to listen to it. I'm still listening on my own headphones, at least, to my stream play. Well, it's not really a stream playlist, it's just my own personal work playlist. But I'm currently up to the song Mirror by Porter Robinson, and that's a good song, so go listen to it. It's pretty cool. Anyway, hey Brown Nutch, how's work on the project going? Well, here it is. It's going miserable as always. Oh, this guy's on that song too. Oh, sweet, we're in sync. That's awesome. Hell yeah. How am I doing? Oh, it's kind of a big question. I'm doing mildly okay, I would say. I think I'm doing better than last month in terms of just my general well-being. I'm trying to actually exercise a bit now because, yeah, being heavy isn't great, I've turned out, and I don't have the metabolism of a 14-year-old anymore, which is very sad. So I haven't been unable to consume as much Coke Zero and all that. So I've been trying to be a bit more active, and build habits like that. So I've been trying to go out for jogs every morning and get myself out of bed earlier. And I've been keeping it up mostly. On the weekend I didn't stick to it, but I had some things on, so that's okay. But today I did. It was fine. Apart from that, yeah, honestly, yeah, I think I've just been making better progress now that I don't have to worry about doing a devlog soon. And that less pressure, having that less thing to worry about has been nice. Let me just actually now test. I've now cleaned this up and I just want to see if it still works. There's only one problem, is that you'll notice that for a brief frame, she goes back into the ledge grab pose. So I need to just change the animation rate to be slightly slower. And I think I might be able to, yeah, I should be able to get, well, maybe I want to still use these print strings actually, just to make sure that this is all actually working properly and I'm not just band-aiding it to then have to fix later. Don't want to end up in more technical debt than necessary. Okay, no, that does work, yeah. So start, vault, and then stop. Yeah, perfect. Yes. Okay, so I can get rid of these. Oh, I love this bit of the song. I don't know if the guy is at the exact same point I'm up to. Up to 3 minutes 50. That is like, oh, I love that bit. Anyway, so I think, yeah, that's now mostly working, it looks like. I can get rid of that search window. Yeah, it's a lot of desk work. Thanks, Brownetch, for the support. Do you have Do you separate Spotify's audio from everything else, or do you just have desktop audio disabled? Yeah, I just got desktop audio turned off, just to avoid copyright. Because, look, I've got that stream music I have, and that's just the music I use for my devlogs, and it's nice. I think, like, I like it, but I've listened to it so much that I'm just tired of it now. So I kind of wanted to just stream and listen to whatever I wanted, but the only way I can do that without getting in trouble is just to mute my desktop audio. So that's the compromise. But I've posted the link to the playlist if you want to listen along. Am I planning on streaming often again? I don't know, to be honest. The thing about streaming is that it's sometimes very beneficial because if I'm like in a bit of a sluggish mood, it kind of gives me that kick to work and actually stay focused in terms of like, I can't then just open YouTube on my other screen and start watching stuff, because that's usually where the most of my procrastination comes from. So it stops me from doing that, and that's why I like streaming, because I have to actually stay on task. And I like it because it's also a much smaller pool of people. Yeah, as I was talking about in my video, if you haven't watched it, check out my channel, and I kind of explain the devlog situation. Because with the devlogs, they're much higher production, and the expectations are much higher, and there's way more people watching them. And it's just, for the stage in production, or pre-production I should say, for the stage I'm in, it's just not, I don't need that pressure right now, it's just too much. So I'd be more comfortable talking more in a devlog format after I've done more. But for streams it's a bit easier because no one's expecting anything final from these, because you literally see me right now with the editor open and you see the bugs and stuff, and I think I'm fine with that, like that very micro sort of view, because you don't see everything, because there's a lot of stuff happening in the background too that I don't want to share yet, but you're only seeing what I'm immediately doing now. And I'm okay to show that because it's just programming stuff, really. And it's only like, what, 30 people or something, and that's more comfortable for me. Because I think the people that come to watch the streams actually kind of have more of an idea on what needs to, like, what happens in game dev. I think most people, like, judging from the comments I get on the main videos, I think most people are expecting AAA polish immediately. And because I can't deliver that, it's just constant, like, you know, oh, the animation on this is too stiff, you should make this better, or, oh, it'd be cool if you added this little thing. And it's just like stuff I don't need to hear right now, because I already know what I need to do. I already know, I have my priorities in my own head figured out. I don't really see a reason to share them because, again, it's just my own work ethic. The public doesn't need to know every single priority I have right now. So I don't mention those in the videos because I would kind of guess it'd be evident, just self-evident from the content I'm doing, what my priorities are. But that doesn't seem to come across because a lot of people who watch them I don't think know that side of game development. Because there's the work side, but there's also the management side. And that's the bit I would honestly like to see talked about more. And I would like to talk about it more after I've reached my next milestone. But it's such a battle that I just don't have the energy to constantly tell. Like, the best I can do is that dev roadmap on the website. But even that is like, without the context of my own inner workings, it's harder to read. But it's mainly for me, because I can look at it and go, okay, I know what this thing means in my own head, and I know what that means. If the public knows what it means, I don't know. They either will or they won't. I don't care, really. It's just, for me, publishing that online is just mainly so that people know that I do have a plan. It's not that, it's not necessarily for you to understand the plan fully, because you don't really need to. I need to understand it. Because you guys aren't my... You don't work for me. You're not my employees. You don't really need to be kept in the loop in that regard. And it changes so much. It's also just going to be impossible to keep 70,000 people up to date with the production schedule. So I only want to worry about that for me, because it's not really, it's my problem to do. But I should put it online just so that people know that, look, this isn't fully accurate, but I have a plan. I'm not just going into it gung-ho without any idea on where I'm going. Like, I have an idea of where to go. Whether or not it'll go there, I don't know, but I have tried actually thinking about it, and that's mainly what that's there to demonstrate. But the videos, of course, there's just, I think people get a bit wrapped up in the technical side of it a bit much, because for me it's not really about that. It's not about programming or art. It's more about finishing, which is a different skill. It's more about taking this idea, turning it into something and finishing it. Like, that's what my goal is. My goal isn't to be the best animator or the best artist or the best programmer on the planet, because I don't really care about those things on their own. Like, that's why I do everything. It's not because I actually love and am very, I'm passionate about these things if they are towards a certain goal. I'm not passionate about programming just on its own or 3D modeling just on its own, because I really hate 3D modeling if I don't know what it's for, or if it's for something that I don't like. Like, if it's for a mobile game, I'm not going to enjoy it. But if it's for Project Feline, I will enjoy it, because I know that it's leading up to this thing that I like. And that's really what my passion, I think, is. It's not actually the skills, it's what the skills lead to. And I enjoy the work because I know it's going to lead to that result. And it's not necessarily that if I don't reach that result, I'll hate it or something. It's just knowing that, oh, okay, this work being done right now is for this thing, and I think that's cool. So that's why the work is fun, because it's going to lead to this cool thing. I think a lot of devs starting out are at that point where they're kind of more focused on the skills rather than what the skills represent. And that's fine. It's just when I'm in the current stage I'm at developing, I don't really need people telling me what to fix about a specific element, because it's not just that isn't my only job. Like, animation is something I get a lot of discussion about, and it's not that I don't care about doing the animations, it's just right now they're not important because there's other stuff. Like, whether there's a flip at this point or not, like, that's for future me to worry about. But because I can't describe that whole process in a single video, it's hard to communicate. And I kind of figured, there's no point showing it at that stage if people don't have that context. So I'd rather just get on with it and work, and then once I've made some progress, I can then go into that stuff retrospectively and tell that story. I think that's going to be a better way for me to do it, because then I can maybe do a better job of really expressing to you guys what it feels like to make games in this way. Because it's doing a game for a game jam and then doing a production, like year-long production, is they're very different rules that apply to them. And I naively thought they didn't at the beginning, but now that I've done more, it's like, oh, what worked in a game jam is not going to work for this. Like, it's a different game. But anyway, what was I doing? I think I got that. I forgot if there was another bug I needed to fix. I think that actually does work now as intended. Oh no, wait, for that one, how did I get that to happen? I can't remember. Just for that split second there, it glitched. Yeah. Okay, that's bad. Maybe I didn't fix it after all. I think if it just goes below 30 FPS. Oh no, it dipped below 30 just then. I feel like, I swear to God, I just want to test it. If it's one of those problems that only happens when it dips below 30, I'm not going to worry about it right now, because I have other stuff I need to do. But if it happens above 30 FPS, then I'll see if I can work on it. Okay, well, it went to 29 just then. Let me because if I have these open, it dips the frame rate down, and it's a good way to test. Okay, yeah, so just then, if it's at 20, if it's below 30, it bugs. Okay, so maybe just as a quick band-aid fix, I will add that and just see. I don't know if that'll actually help, but I'm just gonna try it. But I'll talk a bit. Okay, I think that fixed it. It's just now the big question, is that still gonna work at a higher frame rate and not break itself? So if I minimize that, and now I'm back at like 60 FPS. Okay, that still works. Wait, I didn't want it at 60. Why is it? I wanted 140. Where's my 140 FPS at? So yeah, sometimes these options break. Okay, now still not at the maximum FPS. It's still at like 60. It was running pretty fine earlier. Maybe I just have to switch this window out. Yeah, there we go. 130. Okay, well that's actually no, that doesn't. That I think it's just the animation that's making it look weird. Because it's actually hitting the ground. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, that's what I was going to do. Sorry, I was going to change the animation rate to slightly higher. So I need to go to Gabby's blueprint, go to ledge grab and say, hey, where's animation rate? Yeah, so vault animation rate will do 1.1. Or, actually no, 0.9, because we want it to be slower. Let's have a look at that slow motion. Okay, that seems to last long enough. It's just she plays the land animation, and I don't know how to get that to not happen at the moment. Actually, I have a quick experiment that I've been wanting to try for a while, but I haven't got around to. I don't know if this will break Gabby's animation, but I was going to test what the game would look like without her landing and jump animations, because I know that those are bad. I'm not going to fix them now because it's not important right now, but if I just take them out, I wonder if it'll feel better. Because they're too long. That was why, I think that's what I got wrong there. And I knew that before all the comments, by the way. And I didn't need like 200 people to tell me that. I already knew, it's just priorities. I don't have time to fix everything as it comes up. But if I can just quickly circumvent and band-aid that problem, I wonder if that will actually do anything. So if I jump end, if I like maybe speed that up to like 100. I've already sped it up quite a bit, but okay, it just feels very weird now. It just feels like you're getting magnetized to the floor. But let's try it on the jump start as well, just for lols. See what happens. So now she just goes instantly to the jump pose, and that does look very awkward. But it sort of does feel quicker. It just feels very robotic. But yeah, I want to like change the animations completely. Like I've even contemplated doing the character model again. Like honestly, like I've contemplated just doing it all again because I know I could do a better job. But of course, we don't have unlimited time on this earth, so I don't know what will happen really. There's just one more. Okay, well I'll leave those back on because like it actually looks really bad without these. But there's one more bug, and that's the fact that she stops crouching mid animation, which is not good. So I will attempt to remedy that. Actually, hold on, let me think. So, there's something I want to change, and that's when you finish grabbing ledge, it should go straight there. Or not. Oh, this is tricky. I'll have to work this out later. Because, yeah, I don't want her playing that falling animation when she, like the landing animation, but I think I know why it's happening. It's because it's going from grabbing ledge to idle run, and then back to... Actually, no, hold on, that shouldn't be happening. Let me look at it. Is it playing the jump? No, it's playing the jump animation, then the land. Okay, so it's going like from here to here to here to here to here, and then back to here again. I want to fix that later. It's not important. But I know it would look definitely better if I did fix that, but it's not all about looks sometimes. So there's just that one problem of mid. So the reason why she's clipping through ledges sometimes is because you'll notice, see her capsule? I don't know if you guys can see that, but if I mid ledge grab, you'll notice that her capsule shrinks Like, she actually changes size. And that's so she can fit through gaps like this. The only problem is that sometimes it pops out. And I'm trying to figure out why that's happening. See, sometimes it works like that. But other times, yeah, she'll, like, go back to normal size. And that's why her mesh clips through the... like that. That's why that happens. So I need to figure out what's causing that and stop it. God, I sounded like a freaking cartoon character just then. We need to find it out, and we need to stop him. That's what it sounds like. So, pull to ledge, vault. There should be a state that tells Gabby to crouch. I think it's in the character blueprint, actually. Or not, I don't know. No, it's not in the character blueprint. It's got to be in the vaults component. Is the lerp on timeline clamped? Good question. I don't think so. I don't know if that would actually do anything as well, because it's going back to the beginning, not necessarily well, I don't know, we'll try it. I haven't actually done this before, clamping a timeline. But I'm suring it's... No, it's not clamp angle. What's the thing? Oh, sorry. I have to relaunch the editor again because I'm having that problem where if I right click, the right click menu vanishes, and the only way to fix it is to restart the editor, so give me a second. I don't know I still haven't fixed it. I don't know why it's doing that still. Give me a sec. Clamp float. Yeah, that's the function. I don't know, I'll give that a go, but I feel like that's... The problem isn't that it's not that it's exceeding 1. Or maybe it is, I don't know. But I feel like if it exceeds 1, it shouldn't then be going back to 0. Because that's what it is doing. It's in that set of time, something's going back to 0. So I don't know if it loops. That's just how curves are. But it should not be going back to 0. So I think even clamping it, I'm not sure exactly if that would indeed fix it. Because it would go up to 1 and then back to 0 again. I think. Which is what it's doing. But I don't know, let's give it a go. Why does it keep bringing clamp angle? I don't want clamp angle, I want clamp float. There we go. So we'll get that value. And I don't actually know if... okay, yeah, sure, 0, 1, that should do it. So if I take out that other bit of math from before, see what happens. Wait. Yeah, I just plugged that in there. Yeah, no, that's still broken. Maybe I'm not clamping it. Yeah, I'll do it to max time and min time. See, I feel like this should already be clamping it already, but maybe not, because it's doing it as a percentage. Yeah, that's still broken. Doing that. Oh, I didn't set the min value. Let me try that. Yeah, so I mean... Or maybe... Oh, wait. What's... No, okay, that should be fine. I'm just going to try it anyway, but I don't think that's going to work. Doing delta time like that. Yeah, no, it didn't do anything. Yeah, no, I need to put delta time back. Yeah, it doesn't seem that that's working. Unless I... because I know I divide duration by that. So I don't know if that could be the max. I don't know, see what happens. Yeah, no, that's not working. I'll just leave it as I had it. Like that. Boom. Now this will work. Yeah. What I might actually, just to cover up that vault, the jumping and landing thing, I might just make the animation slower for the animation queue, or the, not the animation queue, the animation montage, yeah. So if I get Gabby's animation, yeah, we'll just do it to 0.7 instead, see what happens. Oh, okay, no, it's a little too slow, maybe 0.8. Yeah, now we've covered that up now. Can't see the jump and land animations, which is fine. That's what we want. It's just, hold on. Okay, hopefully that still works the way it should, right? Yeah, okay, that's still working. It's just for that one bit here, she didn't land. Maybe it was this one. Maybe it's too high. Yeah, she didn't land. Oh no, it's probably because it's too steep. That's probably why. Which means I should make this distance longer. So let's do like ×2 again. Oh wait, no, no, wrong number. Not that one. Line detection size, we'll do that ×2. So I should be able to make it over this 2-meter one. Well, that's the idea. Let me turn on debug stuff. Let's turn that back on. Actually, let me turn it on persistently. So that line's casting really far down now. Whee. Okay, she's making it over that one fine. Let's see if she can do this 2-meter. Okay, well that... yeah, that's definitely hitting. But she doesn't make the whole journey. Oh, did I forget to do the thing, with the, you know, the thing? No, I didn't. I have that in. Okay, well that's still kind of broken, but it only seems to do it there. I think if it's like slightly less steep, it's fine. Like here. She's getting to the floor, fine. It's just for this one, she's not making it to the ground. She's only making it like halfway. Which is very strange. And then if let's do it there. She should make it to the ground there for sure. Oh no, she didn't. Oh, this is back where we started now. God damn it. It's still not working. It was literally working like just a moment ago. You guys saw it. Yeah, okay, well why? That's so weird. See, like, there... Oh, it doesn't work there too. It worked there a minute ago, I swear to God. See, there it works. And here it... No, okay, that's not working anymore. I spent my last 2 hours setting that up, and now we're back at square one. He's serious. I'm using that new variable. That new variable is being set. And now it's decided, hey, you know what? How about we, like, not work anymore? Because, yeah. Maybe if I just do this, I don't know. That might fix it. So it goes... Wait. Hold on. Okay, that works. Oh, wait. She went through the floor. Okay, so she's going through the floor now again. But on everything. But on those ones, it works? Oh, this is so weird. Oh no. I think my worst fears have been realized. I think what's happening is, if it's above like a certain distance, like if the distance is deep enough, it'll work without compensating for the capsule height. But if the distance is short, it won't compensate for the capsule height for some reason. And now, it now works fine on where it wasn't working before, but now it breaks where it was working before. It looks, I mean, maybe it isn't actually. Hold on, just then it looked okay. It's hard to, yeah, like just then oh, it's hard to tell. I need like the debug camera. Oh no, that looked okay. I think there was some points where she did indeed clip. Yeah, that looked okay. Okay, maybe this is actually how it's supposed to be. Except just then she just hiccuped. That could just be because of the animation, probably. Oh, oops, I didn't want that to happen. Oh, what the hell just happened there? Did you guys see that? So let's see how she goes here. Okay, now that's fine. Oh, if this is a frame rate dependent bug. Oh, oh no. If this is the goddamn frame rate causing this problem, I'm gonna be very, very angry. Yeah, she's that right there. She went through the ground, and that is bad. So when the frame rate is lower, she goes further through the floor sometimes. Because just then it was fine. So what's really going on? What the hell is going on? So that's fine. Oh, wait. I think I know why. Okay, now that she was meant to touch the floor then. She was supposed to touch the floor. She wasn't meant to go launching forward like that. She's meant to touch the floor. Just then. And now, this is so inconsistent. This is horrible. I don't know if you guys saw, but sometimes she doesn't make the trip. Sometimes she does. Sometimes she overcompensates sometimes too. Well, that's going to require some more work to get working. Yeah, see, just then she clipped through the ground. Oh, dear Lord. I've actually just made it worse. Oh, no. Yeah. Oh, now, this is the problem we had at the beginning. We're back here again. It's getting clipped through the floor when the frame rate dips below 30. Oh, well, I've been on for 2 hours. I should probably stop. But my god, this is frustrating. It was kind of... Well, I guess if that's the case, it wasn't ever working at all. I just thought it was working. But it never was. If it's because of this thing, then I'm going to have to... Yeah, I think that might be why. Because let me go back. I'm going to add her height back on. And compensate for it. And we'll watch what happens. So she's doing fine so far. That's fine. It's just when we get to these taller ones, it starts messing up. Like, that one was okay. But this one is where it starts getting problematic. You see that here. Yeah, she doesn't make the whole trip. And I think I might know why, actually. And it's the solution I implemented for the timer that's causing it. So here, she doesn't make the whole trip. So it's this. If I take that off, it will fix it, but it will have that other problem where she gets stuck in an infinite loop. Sometimes. So if I, like, turn the compensation for delta time off, I'll go to one of these taller ones. So she'll go to the floor, like, she'll make it the whole way. Yeah, she makes it the whole way, but it loops her back to the beginning. So, okay, that problem I spent ages implementing did not help. It's the same problem. So I actually do need to figure out a way to stop the curve from looping back to 0. Is there like a... Wait. If this option exists, I'm going to be so angry but so happy at the same time. If there's an option to change like a curve's loop type, if such a thing exists, I'm gonna be angry. Cause I don't know if this does exist because I don't know how to explain what I'm looking for, but how to explain it? Basically, clamp is the word. So we tried that clamp function and that didn't do anything, but what I'm wondering, because it looks like for me, the way it's reading this curve is that it's only going between 0 and 1. And if it exceeds 1, it goes back to 0. And if it's back at 0, it infinite loops. But if it goes over 1, you'll notice that the actual curve data is persistent and it clamps at that value forever. So what I would like it to do is know that, oh, if we exceed 1, which we will do when the frame rate dips below 30, because I don't know, it just does. But after 1, it should say, hey, the data after 1 should clamp and go, hey, look, by the way, at 2, if we go all the way to 2, at 2, the value of y is still this and it's still that. So it should do that instead of going back to 0 where the values are that. Because that's why her z value is indeed at 0, which is fine, but her y value should be forward. And that's why she's going back to the beginning of the thing. It's because it's broken. So doing that clamp function didn't seem to work in that case, but there's got to be some way to tell it to read the curve in that specific way. I just don't know how, because I know you can do that in Blender and stuff, and like After Effects, it has those things where you can say, hey, loop this curve or clamp this curve, but I don't know if Unreal has something like that. To say, hey, or like an animation. Like I remember doing animations and stuff, and it's like, hey, do I want to loop this animation or do I want to clamp this animation? But I don't know if there's an option like that at all for curves. Maybe this is Google time. Haven't whipped out Google yet today. This is actually surprising. I've gone like hours without Googling anything. So Unreal Engine curve clamp. See what comes up. I don't want clamp float. I don't want... Okay, you know what? Let's just read this, see what happens. Well, no, that's the problem too. I can't... About that, I've actually done that already, where before value 1, actually just before that point, it persists slightly. So it actually does... Actually, the animation should end there. Well, if I was to offset that, let's say, because here's the thing, it actually, like, and I just get rid of those two, right? Like that is what I had the curve at before, but it doesn't work. Or even like the forward, like yeah, if I do that. And just, yeah. So if I just do it with, because I try to put a bit of trim at the ends to avoid this, but it still doesn't work because it's actually using the duration of the curve. It's factoring that in. So if I make the curve longer, it's just going to compensate for its length. So if I make that this, like, I don't know, watch what happens. Still loops. And even if I make it longer to like 1 point, or if I make it shorter, like what you're suggesting, like if I was to go and move that all the way back here, it would still loop. Because, except now it kind of gets me stuck in those sorts of situations. Because it's changing the endpoint for when the last bit of data is. And I thought that adding a bit of trim like that would fix it, but it doesn't seem like it is. Like if I was to, you know, have still some data points there, right? But, oh, wait, no, that did work. All right, I see how it is. So maybe I just needed to extend the trim time for the frame time to compensate or something. I swear to God, if that's what it was. So I don't know why I did that there though. So let's try that. Okay, so I don't know if you guys see, but she is sticking to the floor a bit. Okay, well maybe that might be the solution. Except she does stutter for a bit. So I'm just changing the curve, that's all I'm doing. Alright, well it seems to work. I don't know if it actually does, but... The problem is though, is that by doing that, is that it's actually making the curve a bit longer, I think. Oh, okay, well that was a weird bug. Oh no, wait, did I break the freaking ledge grab now? Okay, well, I guess I'd only... Alright, well let's... Okay, actually no, that works at 30 FPS. We haven't tested it on 140 FPS, but it does work at 30 for now. So let's try that. But that's a good suggestion. I thought I already tried it, but I just needed to extend its buffer. Okay, well that's fixing it, it seems. Wonder if it still works if I set the time dilation down. Okay, that animation shouldn't be playing there. Alright, well she's hitting the ground. Well, when she gets the vault correct. Alright, she hit the ground. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, okay, I don't know why that's happening. But I'll worry about that later. Does she hit the ground? Yep, alright, well, like, maybe that will work for now. I feel like though in a week, it's probably going to break again. But we'll see. So I'll close that. Probably close this now too. There was just that one, there was that one bug with the crouch that was bothering me that I want to see if I can quickly fix, where she stops crouching mid-vault. like just then. So I need to figure out where stop crouching is called, and it's not called here. So that's fantastic. Oh no, it should, wait. So start vault, crouch is called. Fantastic. Uncrouch is then called afterwards. But it seems to sometimes call prematurely. So maybe I'll just add a print string. So it should only call at the end of the vault. Oh, wait, let me shrink that time to like 0.4. So that's fine. And then it prints when she lands. Yep. And let's see what happens this time. Okay, well that is not being called. So that's fine. This is all fine. It's just must be being called somewhere else then, and I don't know where. Oh, wait. I might know where. Oh. Maybe I do. Oh, actually, you know what? Maybe this. See what happens. No, that didn't do anything. I thought it was this that was causing it, but it's not. So I don't know where uncrouch is being called. Because it's only, in regards to the vaulting, it's only, like, to uncrouch is only ever being called here. Yeah, it's only once. Only there. And that happens. But for some reason, this is also being triggered at a different point. Maybe it's the player blueprint? Could be an input thing. Hopefully not. Input crouch. Ah! Oh! Maybe that's why. Can I uncrouch mid-vault? I can. Okay, I don't want to do that, so that's... Ah, okay, yeah. Okay, I think I'm onto it. It's because I have a whole event to know when to crouch and when not to crouch and everything. To stop crouching can only ever be done if we aren't sliding. So I might change this condition to be if we're not sliding and we're not vaulting and not ledge grabbing. Ah, wait. So I'm just gonna, do that. So if not this, and if not... I know I could just do a false, but I just want to be really specific and make absolutely sure that this is just absolutely when it's not doing this. So... Ah, I can't use the Feline component for this. I need to use the ledge grab component. Ledge grab. So if is grabbing ledge. I don't know if I have an is vaulting. Yeah, is vaulting. And then is we'll just do it at those two for now. Or three, I should say. And we'll see if that fixes it, because I think there's going to be some other part of the character script that's telling it to uncrouch when it's in the air, which is fine, but we don't want to do that while vaulting, because we want to stay crouched while vaulting. So that's what we will tell it to do. Just thinking how to organize those nodes. Yeah, that'll do. Yeah. All right. So let's. I don't know. I think that might work. See how. Okay. Well, so far she hasn't clipped through. All right. Seems pretty consistent. She's not uncrouching mid-ledge, which is fantastic. I wonder if I can, if I hit crouch, I wonder what happens. Oh, well she just, okay. So you can actually still hit mid-crouch, it'll just stop, it'll just cancel the vault. I might leave that in, that actually might be handy. So if you crouch mid, oh, not like that. But if you, not like that either. If you crouch at the apex, you'll just stop vaulting, which maybe that'll come in handy. But yeah, she actually stays tucked up in a ball, which is great. Let's see if she still does that when the frame rate's lower. Oh, that didn't quite work as I was expecting. Oh, why is she getting stuck? Oh, there we go. I might have to increase the height of her detection because, well, give me a sec. Let me just play through that. Yeah, I wanted to be able to vault over that without me having to jump. Actually, that actually might be sensible, because now that I think about it, she shouldn't, actually, no, she shouldn't really be vaulting over that at all, should she? This is a bit too tall. Oh, what was that? Did you guys see that? What did I do just then? Jumping mid-vault. Oh, well, yeah, that's what that boost does, except the boost is still kind of bugged. So if you jump mid-vault... Yeah, except... Oh, that's the other bug, yeah. She boosts sideways when I lock the frame rate at 30, but then forwards when I unlock the frame rate. It's so... Except, yeah, no, sometimes it does work, though, so I don't understand why that's happening. Yeah, before the boost, you could jump mid-vault, and it would just be a normal jump. But I replaced it with the boost. Maybe I'll do both, I don't know. I feel like maybe... I don't know if both will be necessary. But at least that thing now works where she can vault on variable surface heights and won't clip through stuff. So, bring the FPS back up. Yeah, that's better. I'll turn off all that debug stuff too. Yeah, it's just, that thing with the launch. I don't know why that's bugged and not doing it the right direction, because it's calculating relative to her character and she's not being rotated at any point, so that's confusing. But let me just save all that. So yeah, now I can go into here and turn that off. I can turn off her collider. We don't really need that on anymore. Or at least the visibility check for it. And, oh, it's coming on 3 o'clock for me. I should get some food. But yeah, so this is what it looks like without all the debug lines. Looks more natural. I'm just, yeah, now I'm contemplating, now that I've been playing this more, it's like, should she be able to vault over something her height? Because she can't automatically, because I have that automatic vault. She can't automatically vault this, but if she jumps, she can do it. I don't know if I should still allow that or make that a ledge grab instead. Actually, no, a ledge grab, no. I shouldn't do a ledge grab. Because a ledge grab also does a check below you. For a ledge grab to work, you actually have to be like a bit further from the ground. Because I don't want you ledge grabbing and then the ground being right under you, because it just seems really weird. But sometimes it still bugs out and does it, like in these cases, in this... Sometimes this one breaks, but it seems to not be doing that now. I can turn off this, close that tab now. But yeah, sometimes she grabs, yeah, like just then. I don't know if I could get that to replay. Yeah, so I feel like this is too shallow of a distance to allow ledge grabbing, even though she's doing it here and it's a bug and I know why it's happening. It's because for a brief frame, she is tall enough, like she's further enough, because there's a check beneath her that checks whether the ground is too close. And what's happening in that case is that she's actually, for a brief frame, just high enough from the ground for a ledge grab, but then she falls back down to where the actual ledge is, because she overshoots, right? So she jumps just higher than the ledge, and for that brief frame, she's further enough from the floor. And then she grabs the ledge, but the actual ledge itself is too close to the floor. So I need to do a thing where she continuously checks for the floor while she's on the ledge, so that if something like comes and hits her in the head, she'll fall off. Because at the moment, if I put an object through her right now, she'll stay on that ledge, which is not what I want. I want it so that, like, let's say as well, because you see her fingers, right? They're like peeking over the ledge. if like a huge piston were to just crunch the top of that box, Gabby would still hold on. And I know that that's like kind of cool, but I don't think her fingers are that strong. I think that would be kind of weird. So I want to have it dynamically check constantly if the conditions for ledge grabbing are still true, because it only checks them once when you initially touch the ledge. And if you happen to be taller, because it moves you down to the ledge. So if you're actually high up enough for a brief frame at any point, it'll activate the ledge grab. But of course for this, yeah, I'm not sure if I want... I think for this type, something this tall, I don't know if I'd want her just jumping over it or ledge grabbing. Because it's that awkward height where it's not tall enough for you to jump on top. It's also not tall enough for you to ledge grab technically, but it's also a bit too tall for a vault. But I don't know, maybe the vault is the most appropriate, I don't know. Or maybe a ledge grab, I don't know. It's hard for me to tell, I'll have to do some testing. The thing though is that a ledge grab will always work. It'll always activate if there is nothing to vault over. So if I was to cover the other side with an obstruction, like if there was something here on the other side of the ledge, she wouldn't be vaulting over it. She would just ledge grab if the height conditions were met. Well, yeah, at least now she doesn't clip through the ledges now, which is great. Should I? I should probably take a break, I think. Get extra jump height if vault off something. Yeah, I thought of that. I think I did have that going for a bit, but I've changed the vault to just this thing. Not the vault, the vault jump, so to speak. It's now like a vault boost. Like if I were to change that, just the properties of it, I could turn it into a vault jump. Wherever thing is. So if I were to change vault boost velocity, and if I just changed it to like 1800 on that, if I just did this, it would be a vault jump. So now you could vault mid jump and do that. But that's way too high though. maybe maybe a bit forward and a bit upwards. And that's not enough, eh? Maybe like 1000 and then 500. So yeah, you can sort of do, like if I had a vault animation play there, if you just used your imagination. Actually, you know what? We'll use our imagination for all of it. I'll turn off our animations completely. Let's have a T-pose everywhere. So if you just imagine your own animations, I mean, I guess that could be a vault. Yeah, if you like jump on top of something, you vault. Like, no, not vault, sorry, like do a kickoff or a springboard. I think that's what it's called, right? A springboard. Maybe that. Maybe have, I don't know. It's just I don't want to like put in too many mechanics than necessary. Because I think the boost felt really cool because you just boost forward. But I don't know, I guess I could do both. It wouldn't be that hard. It's just finding use cases for it. Because you... actually, I could see this kind of working. Like if we set up a little thing. Let me set up a little scenario where that might come in handy. So if I was to like take one of these and put that here, thanks Slid Live for the follow. So if I was to like put that here, right? Well, it wouldn't work here because she can't vault if there's something on the other side. But if I was to put it just before it, I don't know if that'll work. Yeah, so I could do something like... Oh, actually, that actually did feel cool. That actually did feel pretty cool, if I do say. So maybe I'll leave that in. I'll have both mechanics. I'll have a vault boost and a springboard. Because, yeah, you got to, like, time it just right, and then you get that boost of speed. So I know that she's just asserting her dominance, A-pose sort of thing. But if you imagine, like, you know, her flailing her arms a bit with some better animations, I think that could be kind of cool. Yeah, the jump's a little... I might make it a little shorter. Maybe 800. I think that's the normal jump height is actually 800. That's like a default. Oh, actually, no, it's too short. I think it used to be her max jump height. I think I did change it, but maybe 900? Because I want her to be able to jump like... Yeah, no. I think I'll just leave it at like maybe 950. I think actually 1,000 was pretty nice. Okay, 950 is actually good. It's just high enough. Yeah, that feels good. Whee! I think this would be 100 times better though with just Mario's voice clips. Like Gabby runs up and then she goes like Yahoo! off the vaults. Whee! Going to make a pizza pie. Maybe I'll give her a mustache too. Have a Mario mode. Except, nah, that'd be a waste of time. Yeah, actually that feels satisfying. But you also have the option to grab the ledge too. Yeah, so this is what the ledge grab looks like without animations, by the way. It looks really robotic without the animations on top. Just goes to show you how animations can really fool people. Like, to me, animations are important, but they're not necessarily... Like, you can hide a lot of flaws. Like, you don't... Like, if you have code that's kind of you can hide it with animation. And I hate the fact that you can do that, but you can. And people will buy it. Because people don't see the code, they just see how it's presented. And it kind of pisses me off that you can fool people that easily. Because then you don't really have to make movement that's super realistic. As long as the animation looks good, it seems to be enough, which is... maybe it's not that I hate it, it's just that it's funny, I find. Because literally, on a fundamental coding level, literally nothing has changed. I just have a different animation clip. And then people go, oh wow, this is so much better. Like, the movement feels so much better. And it's like, well, actually the movement is the exact same. I just have now an animation clip on top of it. And now you think it feels different. But it's actually, on a purely functional level, it is identical. So, game feel, am I right? So, I mean, yeah, that's actually kind of cool. So I'll have to code in 2 different variables then for the boost and for the springboard sort of jump. What did you mean? What did you mean when you said you were thinking about redesigning her model? Well, exactly what I said. That's what I meant. Like doing it all. Like, I actually do want to change her design a bit, actually, because I feel like I could pick out some better colors for her now. Now that I'm more experienced as an artist than I was when I started. I feel like I could do a slightly better job on the color palette. And maybe some of the armor. Because I've also been thinking, because the armor was designed before the mechanics and before the story. And I'm not sure if the current story I'm thinking is if the armor is going to fit in the way it is currently presented. So I've got some redesigns in my head that I haven't drawn, but I should at some point. But that might come a lot later. That might come in alpha, because I don't think it's important. Because the design already people like, and it's cool, and it does its job. But I don't feel the need to change it for the current... Oh wait, did you guys see that? Why is she like clipping through the... Did I like break the slide? What's going on? Why is the slide super broken now? Maybe huh. Is it because the animation's not on? That's really strange. Oh wait, that's not the animation. That's the animation. Okay, it's working there. It's just... Oh. Oh. Oh no. For some reason, if I slide on top of this specific cube, she tries to vault it and not slide. Oh dear lord. I wonder if that... Because it works fine on the floor. It just doesn't... Oh, come on. Let me ledge grab. Does it... Okay, it works on literally everything, except you can't slide on top of these. And that's bad. Oh, I think I know why. Okay, no, I know exactly why that's happening. It's because I'm calling... Because when she slides, her collider shrinks to the ground, and the matrix of checking moves into the ground, and she thinks that there's a ledge. Because the... Yeah. Okay, I know how to fix that. I gotta just turn off that check when she's sliding. Problem solved. So, let's hippity hop back over to... And then after I fix this, I'll probably head off, because I gotta eat. Oh, it's like 3 o'clock. I was thinking to do like a drive down to KFC just to reward myself. But 3 o'clock is the school rush, and I don't want to be in traffic with a bunch of mums picking their kids up. So, maybe I either wait or I just don't go. Yeah, what was I doing? Oh, yeah, so, yeah, so I need to do a thing. I can get rid of that. I can get rid of that. I can get rid of that. I think, yeah, no, I did anticipate that I would have some problems with the auto ledge grab. Because it's like constantly being called, right? Which is, you know, good. Because I want it, because the ledge grab check is also used for the vaulting check. And last stream I split it up so that not all of the check was being done at once. I split it up so that only the bare essentials were being done constantly. And then depending on the hit results, it would do different parts of the check. And that's all fine. But the problem is that the initial check is also happening when it's not meant to. And I didn't think about this specific case, but now I have found that I need to specify, hold on, I gotta think. So when we start crouching, or when we start sliding, either way, we need to tell it to stop checking ledges. So we gotta go, hey, stop. Well, we need a branch, don't we? Or do we, actually? Maybe we don't. Maybe we can just add it to this state. Or, no, we can't do that. Or can we? Okay, so, let's check it. Oh, no. Oh, no, we don't need to even check if it's doing anything. We just need to tell it to stop. Call on stop detecting. I think that's the one. We don't need it to stop doing anything except detecting ledges. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, okay, that might fix that problem. Oh, nope, that didn't do anything. Maybe we do that check before this. So we do a branch. Oh, no, we don't. No, not a branch. We just tell it straight up, stop detecting ledges. So yeah, that's good. I think that's good because now when she's like, oh, wait, no, hold on. Did you guys see that? Oh, no, that's fine. Except, nah, that still doesn't work half the time. Yeah, she's still trying to check for ledges while she's crouching. Maybe I do all of that just before. Maybe call on stop. What are my options? The stop vaulting, the stop detecting ledge, the stop pulling, the stop. Yeah, so it should be stop detecting ledge. That should be the only thing we need to call. Except. Ah, no, that's why. Yeah, no, that's no, it's not this at all, actually. It's all the way up here, because it stops for like 1 frame and then starts again. So we need to say, hey, is crouching. Yeah, there we go. Is crouching, and if so, don't detect ledges ever. That should patch her up. Let's give that a go. Oh, now she's not. Oh no. Oh no. Is crouching is true. Oh, no, I did the. Yeah, no, wrong order. Okay. Okay, this should now work. Yeah. Nope. Oh, are you serious? Come on. Maybe I have to check for both of these. Maybe that is what I need to do. Oh, no, okay, no, I know, I think I might know why that's also happening. It's both of these things, and another thing. It's that, and I need to tell it one more thing. I gotta say, hey, oh, hold on. That's not, it's that bug again. The right click menu's not rendering. Let me relaunch the editor. No, we don't want to save. Save only that. Last bug fix that I'm off. Oh no, I wasn't thinking to redesign Gabby with a Mario mustache. No, not at all. Will you ever add a ledge slide? Sliding off the edge of something and it will launch you forward like Black Ops 3. Does that happen in Black Ops 3? I don't know. I was playing it recently. I don't remember that mechanic. Like, you can slide off things like that. I don't know if this is some other mechanic that I don't know about. Oh yeah, so sorry, what was I was in the middle of fixing something just then. Oh yeah, so I need to tell it, maybe I don't need to tell it, but I will anyway. I'll explicitly say call on stop detecting ledge when this and this is true. And that should just work. Oh, nope. Are you serious? How is that not working? Oh, come on. Maybe there's another state I'm missing. Is crouching, is sliding. There's not another state I'm missing, right? Is stomping. Nope, it's falling. It's that should be it. Just check is crouching or... Oh no, it's not and, it's or. Yeah, that's where I went wrong. And if this still doesn't work, I'm going to... Yeah. I'm gonna be angry. Come on. So she keeps trying. It looks like she's breakdancing, kind of. But not really. So on that specific cube, it's just not working for some reason. Because this floor is the same, it's the same type of cube, it's just bigger, and for some reason... Okay, it works on that. Why does it not work here? What is going on? Stop trying to ledge grab the floor, Gabby. Silly cat. I thought I taught you better than this. Disappointed. Let me turn her debug lines back on. I thought I told you. We talked about this, Gabby. About trying to ledge grab into the floor. Very, very bad. Well, even like the checks aren't even being called. I don't know if you guys see that, but the actual ledge grab logic. Oh wait, no, maybe it is. Hold on. Let me extend the time for those checks. So I'm just gonna, yeah. So if we start sliding. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, okay, yeah, no, that's not what we want. Why is that going on? See, I'm telling it right here. This is on tick, by the way. I know it's not the best way to do it, but this is constantly, this is without a doubt being called. It's saying, hey, if we're crouching or doing this, stop the ledge, do not ledge grab, do not do that. And then if not, then yeah, sure, go let us ledge grab. Except it seems to be completely ignoring this whole thing. Let's do a print. Do a print string. Yeah, that's being called. It's explicitly saying, hey, don't... Except here. Except there, it's not being called. It's like, oh, when you're on top of that specific cube, for whatever goddamn reason, it's like, oh yeah, let's just like not do that check. I don't know what. Maybe if I just skip that, I don't know, maybe that'll do something. No, still broken. Why? Why you do this? Because it's entering the slide state. The slide state is being called, and when slide state... Oh no, wait, it isn't entering slide. It's actually entering ledge. No. No way. No, wait. Wait. Oh. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I think I'm the thing I did where I fixed her clipping through ledges. I think that might have caused this problem. Oh, no. Okay, so start crouch is indeed being called. It's just for some reason. Oh, it's being superseded by something else. It's... Oh, yeah, okay, I know why. I know what's going on now. I need food. I can't be bothered fixing this right now. I think that'll be it. Does it work on the giant cylinder? Actually, that's a good question. We'll try that. It works on this thing, which, I mean, sure. It works on the stairs, it looks like. Oh, come on. Oh, wait, it doesn't work on the stairs. Nope. Oh, and she just clipped through the stairs. No, actually, I know why that is. Never mind that. That's because I'm using complex. Oh, yeah, no, it breaks on the cylinder. Yep. Big cylinder is a no-go zone. So it's actually not sliding. It's playing the slide animation for 1 frame, and it's playing the slide noise. But she's going straight into the vault logic. So that moving forward is actually purely the vault. Which is a very interesting problem. It works on these bits. Like, she can slide on these narrow bits sometimes. You just saw it broke just then. Yeah, that's why parkour games are hard. Even on this one, yeah, it's not working. But why does it work on the floor? That's what I don't understand, is that if it doesn't work on a slightly elevated floor, then why is it working on... Because it's the same object. Like, this cube that I'm standing on is the exact same as, like, one of these. Like, it's the same cube, it's just one of them's bigger. I don't understand. It's the same thickness, it's the same... it's just a different width. It's the same height and thickness. Same cube, same static mesh, same material. But, oh, God forbid, if we raise it slightly above sea level, nah, that's no sliding allowed. It's vault time, baby. I don't know why it's happening. But at least most of the other stuff works. I say as the animation glitches in this area. I'm going crazy. I should stop. I should stop doing this to myself. But yeah, no, make Flappy Birds, kids. It's way easier. Let's give that a save. Make sure it's all saved. I'll come back to this like tomorrow or something. At least, well, we got somewhere. We made some progress, but we made a few steps forward and a few steps backwards. At least auto vaulting feels way better now. Like it's even less stuttery, which I didn't think would happen, except just then. But for the most part, it's less stuttery. Except, wait, why did I clip through the? No, I'm not gonna test it anymore. No, that's it. I'm not bug fixing anymore today. If I start doing it, I'm gonna be here for like another 5 hours. I don't think I put a collision under the floor at all. I don't think it's all just it's empty unless no, there's no volume. It's just purely floor. Oh. No, the floor is actually very thin. Maybe that's why it's breaking. Maybe because the floor is actually a plane. Yeah, no, the floor's a plane. Okay, that's why. So cubes. It doesn't like cubes anymore. It can't slide on cubes. But planes, completely fine. Alright, well that explains that. So yeah, no, it's just because it doesn't work on any 3D object now. So it works on planes because it's only one-dimensional, but on cubes it won't work. But I know the reason why that is happening though is because earlier when I took out that piece of code that said, when I took out that bit of code that stopped her from crouching mid-ledge grab, I put the check at the wrong spot. And I'm going to have to play around with picking the right spot for that check, because it basically won't allow any crouching while vaulting. The thing is, when you start sliding, the check for vaults are returned true because of the weird circumstances of crouching, because you're getting closer to the ground and it thinks that it's a valid surface to vault. And for that one frame, it goes, oh yeah, let's vault. And because I've now got that thing where you can't crouch during a vault anymore, it used to just override the vault and slide, but because I now have that check, it just vaults instead. So I need to do a thing where it just won't, yeah, I'll have to play around with it a bit. But it's nothing to do with the surface normals at all. I think it's just purely a logic problem of checking things in a different order. I think that will fix it. Just checking things in a different arrangement. But until then, that'll be it. Deleting and replacing the cube won't work because literally it breaks on every object. Is there any messages I missed? There might be some highlighted messages I think I might have missed. Do I watch anime? Not that much. I actually have started watching some new shows recently, but none of them are animes. I guess because I finished watching Next Generation like a few weeks ago, and to get that Star Trek craving, I've just started watching The Orville because it's on Disney Plus now. So I mean, unless that counts as an anime, then no, I don't watch animes that much. Can we read the blueprints? No, these are proprietary. You can't copy my code. I'm just working on them, but I'm not going to show you the whole blueprint. If you want to do that, you can sacrifice 2 years of your life and figure it out like I did, and you'll get there. You might even get there quicker, actually, because there's way more documentation and resources nowadays. But yeah, I'll worry about fixing it later, though. Don't try and fix it for me, because, like, trust me, I can do it. It's just going to take some time. And you're not my employee, so it would be unfair. Do I live in Australia? Yes. There was actually a discussion that ended really weirdly, but it still happened. There was like a discussion in the Discord server about my accent. I honestly don't know what my accent is. I can't explain it either, because I've lived in this country my whole life. But I don't know. I don't know what I sound like, but apparently I sound American sometimes, and sometimes I sound Canadian, and sometimes I sound Australian. And I don't know. It's weird. I don't know what to tell you. But I am. Well, actually, yeah, no, I'm half Australian, half American, but I grew up in Australia and live in Australia. I've only ever visited America like twice. You say some words like an American for no reason. Shut up. I don't know why. There's probably a reason, but I don't know why. It's just how I talk. I know, it's the funny weird man who can't decide if he's Australian or not. Anyway, that's probably going to be it for me for now. You guys can ponder that accent if you wish. Let me just, yeah, so I've saved everything. Okay, that's good. I'll come back to this later. I don't know, again, I don't have an exact stream schedule. I just kind of stream whenever I feel like it, because that's honestly, it's just the best thing I found. I don't want to be in a position where I stream when I don't feel like streaming. So I just hop on whenever. It's usually, I try to do it around the same times. It's just the days I haven't set. But the days I do it, it's usually at the same time, like 1 a.m. UTC, which is like 7 p.m. for people on the West Coast. And for me, it's midday till about 3:30 as it is right now. Any plans to bring the game to conventions? I was actually planning to do that in 2019, but of course, maybe it was 2020. Actually, I can't remember. I lose track. But I was planning to bring it, but then COVID happened. But no, the game definitely wasn't ready enough either at that stage. But I've been to a few conventions before as an exhibitor, and I think I would definitely like to do that again, because I've taken other games to conventions like PAX mainly. And those are really fun. I think now that I've had some experience at booths and being a YouTuber, I think like my first booth experience, oh man, I was so shy. We also had a terrible game, so maybe it was justified. But no, I really love to take Project Feline to PAX or something again. If I am going to do a convention, the first one I'll have my eye on will be PAX Australia. But again, I don't know if my game will reach the prerequisites, because they changed the prerequisites for COVID, where the game needed to be in beta to have a spot. And this was for the virtual PAX thing. And I wasn't really interested in that anyway, because who wants to go to a virtual PAX? I want to go to the real thing. But for the virtual one, they had this thing where it's like, it has to be in beta or further along. And mine's nowhere close to beta, so it's like, okay, well, maybe later. But maybe... I don't know. No, GDC might be too expensive. Or maybe like PAX in other countries. I don't know. I'm probably going to just focus on Australian conventions first, just because money. And then maybe if I get enough funds or something, I could maybe do something like PAX West or PAX East. I'm curious about those, but I feel like they're going to be very different to PAX Australia just because of the culture. So I'm a little nervous, but maybe someday that could happen. Definitely after the game's finished, after it's finished and shipped, I'd like to still at least take it somewhere, just so that I can promote it and be like, hey, so I launched this game and it exists, please buy it, sort of thing. So yeah, I'd like to do that. Yeah, I think it also might be cool, because I think now that people know who I am, it might be also a cool opportunity for people to meet me as well. And I think it'd be very interesting to try and meet the people who watch me, because I don't really know anything about you guys. So I think that'd be fun. But that's a dream. Maybe in the future. I don't know what'll happen. But anyway, that's gonna do it for me for now. Be sure to check the merch out if you're interested in supporting my work. I brought this design back and a few others. That's the best way to support me at the moment, and I enjoy doing the merch the most. I don't necessarily like just taking money, because I feel like I want to give you back something. So if you buy merch, that's like, what, like 25 US, and then I get to keep some of that money, and then I get to give you this, and that's like, to me, that seems more reciprocal, and I like that better. So be sure to check that out. Subscribe to my YouTube. I know I won't be posting there for a bit, but subscribe anyway, so that when I do post, you'll see it. Follow my Twitch so that when I go live, you'll see it. And check out the game's social media pages for just GIFs and stuff. I'll post those occasionally. And yeah, and that'll probably be it for now. I'm gonna go and see. It's like almost 4. It's like 3:30. I'm gonna go see if like the traffic from the school rush is over, because I really want to do like a Macca's run. I'm really hungry. So anyway, I'll see how I go there. Catch you guys later on in time, in a later point.